of America. Please direct your attention to the 50-yard line as Lieutenant Colonel Robert Salvatorelli, commander of the United States Army Recruiting Battalion, Pittsburgh, will lead the recruits in taking the oath to defend our country.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commander. Performing America the Beautiful, please welcome the United States Continental Army Band from Fort Monroe, Virginia. The U.S. Continental Army Band from Fort Monroe, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Heinz Field, the new home of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers would like to thank you, the fans, for your continued support. The Steelers have built a solid winning tradition over the past 68 years, having won 4 Super Bowls, 5 AFC championships, 14 AFC Central Division championships, and producing 18 Hall of Fame members. Through the years, the Steelers have played professional football in 3 stadiums. Today's game will mark the 4th home of NFL football.
We need to take you to CBS Network coverage now. Apparently, there's been some military action in the Middle East. Let's listen in.
Dan, I can confirm that the first weapons to hit inside Afghanistan were cruise missiles. But now there are all sorts of aircraft in the mix, from B-2 stealth bombers flying nonstop from the U.S. to F-18 jets off the carriers. And although the pictures you're seeing are from the capital of Kabul, the Taliban also has a major stronghold in Kandahar, and I am certain that Kandahar is also a major target of these strikes. So what you're seeing on television is nowhere near the totality of what's going on, particularly since the terrorist training camps run by Osama bin Laden are also targets for this first wave of strikes. Alan was mentioning the possibility that these strikes would trigger mass defections from the Taliban, and that is certainly one of the goals of these strikes. It is to turn the Afghan people against the Taliban. Now, that's a pretty tall order for military operations, but the CIA has been working with Pakistani intelligence on these tribal leaders to get them to desert the Taliban. And there have been reports in the last 2 weeks of cracks within the Taliban, although obviously the Taliban leaders who make the final decisions did not waver and did not meet the American demands. And now these attacks are going to continue for the rest of our day here, the rest of their night there.
From New York, it's about a plus 8.5 hours to Afghanistan to give you some time frame. It is night in Afghanistan and has been for some time. The first explosions, as you look at the live picture coming from Kabul, the first explosions could be heard about an hour and 10 or 15 minutes ago. These were explosions that, by witnesses in Kabul, say shook the city, followed by the sounds of anti-aircraft fire from the ground. The power is reported to have gone off throughout Kabul almost immediately after the first 5 what are described, quote, absolutely thunderous blasts. There was no indication what caused the blast. The biggest number of the blasts in the early going, according to eyewitnesses in Kabul, appeared to have been just southwest of the city. Now, David Martin makes a point. You're only seeing a live picture from Kabul. We only have reports of the strikes being in Kabul. But CBS News has been in touch with at least one high-ranking Taliban member in Kandahar. Kandahar is way south of Kabul and somewhat near the Pakistan border. They were expecting Kandahar to be hit. When the last time CBS News spoke to them, they had not heard or seen anything, but they were expecting it momentarily. And then look at the map far up in the northwest corner, Herat. There is an air base not far from Herat. One would be surprised, astounded, if attacks are not already underway in Herat, if attacks don't occur in the hours that follow. As David Martin has been emphasizing, this is the start of something big. There's no longer any guesswork about it. These attacks throughout Afghanistan, by air, by cruise missiles, by bombers, are expected to go on for some hours through the night in Afghanistan. And then as the daylight comes, provided that the Air Force is convinced that there's been enough suppression of the Taliban's rather limited anti-aircraft capability, the idea is that food will begin to be dropped in Afghanistan. So it's airstrikes first, then followed by food drops. You say, well, why are we dropping food? This is a poor country, almost indescribably poverty-stricken in the outlying areas, particularly outside the cities. There's been a long drought. Water is very short. Food is very short in many places in Afghanistan. And the strategy here is obviously to try to crumble the Taliban's rule from within. And that's part of the strategy that's begun to be infected today. Now, other reports are sort of trickling in various places in Pakistan, people along the border reporting that they heard aircraft flying over, what they assumed to be aircraft, could very well have been missiles, but they assumed to be aircraft, and then hearing explosions in Afghanistan itself. President Bush is expected to address the nation from the White House shortly. We go to the White House in John Roberts. John?
Dan, the pool has just been activated and brought into the residence at the White House, where the president from the treaty room in the next few minutes is expected to address the nation. The language coming out of the White House in the last 48 hours, much more strident than it has been in the past. In yesterday's radio address, the president quite clearly saying the Taliban has received ample warning and now time is running out. This follows on the heels of some very powerful statements made by the British Prime Minister Tony Blair in the last week, saying to the Taliban, either surrender bin Laden or surrender power. Now, this morning, the White House received what appeared to be an 11th-hour attempt by the Taliban leadership at some form of negotiation, saying that they would be willing to put bin Laden on trial in an Islamic court if the United States asked. The White House today summarily rejecting that proposal, saying, what part of non-negotiation does the Taliban not understand? And the president again reiterating his demands that the Taliban turn over bin Laden and his associates, destroy all of the al-Qaeda training camps in Afghanistan, allow the United States access to see those, and as well release all of the Westerners being held. Dan?
John Roberts at the White House. Let's take you back inside Afghanistan to the northeastern part of the country and CBS News correspondent Liz Palmer. Liz?
Good evening, Dan. We're hearing nothing at all here. No aircraft, no missiles. We were out at the front earlier today, and in fact, the men on the front lines didn't seem to have any inkling that this was impending. However, they are very anxious for this to have happened. This will be a tremendous morale booster. We've heard from the very beginning a great eagerness that America should come in and help them, as they see it, fight the Taliban. Alan Pizzi was mentioning earlier that there is a great record of defections here in Afghanistan. From one allegiance switches to another overnight. We know that the Northern Alliance here lost a lot of territory to the Taliban about a year and a half ago. But there's great expectation that those allegiances might switch again the minute America is involved. Dan?
Elizabeth Palmer, in northern Afghanistan, that's controlled by the so-called Northern Alliance, which is opposed to the Taliban. You may want to note that while there's a lot of talk about the United Front, it is dominated by the minority tribes in Afghanistan, the Tajiks, the Uzbeks, and the Hazaras tribes. The Taliban, which controls most of the country and has the dictatorial government that has dominated, the Taliban, which is now under attack, represents the about 40% of the population is Pashtun, and sometimes called Pushtus. The Pashtuns represent about 40% and are the largest tribe in terms of numbers in Afghanistan. But that doesn't mean 40% of Afghanistan supports the Taliban dictatorship, which has been called in other quarters, quote, a kind of fascist Islamic organization, unquote. Now, we are awaiting President Bush's address to the nation from the White House. We're still a few moments away from that to bring you up to date. Airstrikes have begun in Afghanistan. They started something more than an hour ago. So far, we have seen and heard parts of the attack on Kabul, the Afghan capital. The belief runs strong that attacks are underway in various other targets throughout Afghanistan, although that has not been confirmed. As always, we're going to try to keep you very much posted on our news gathering process here. We'll try to tell you what we know, try to tell you what we don't know, try to tell you what's confirmed, tell you what's pretty much confirmed but not absolutely solid, and then tell you what is unconfirmed as time goes along. We're in for a long day, and the Afghans, and particularly the Taliban, is in for a long night. It being nighttime there now, the plan is for the attacks to continue over a long period of time, then, as we said before, to be followed by drops of food in certain portions of Afghanistan, all designed to crumble the Taliban from within, or at the very least get them to meet President Bush's conditions. Now, as you know, the president, among the conditions, first and foremost, to give up Osama bin Laden. Secondly, to close his terrorist camps. Thirdly, to allow inspection of those camps, and then to let go of the hostages, 6 to 8 hostages. Sometimes people say 6, other times say 8. Those hostages include 2 Americans, have been held by the Taliban for some time. So those are the 4 conditions that President Bush put forward when he said to the Taliban, the time for negotiation is over, these are our conditions. Now, in the last 12 to 24 hours, the Taliban put out yet another statement saying, well, we are willing to detain Osama bin Laden and have him tried in Afghanistan under Islamic law if the United States requests that. President Bush declined that. He refused it virtually out of hand, saying, look, we're not here to negotiate, and the time is running short. Well, time is now out, because what you see in this live picture from Kabul, the Afghan capital, some anti-aircraft fire from the ground as cruise missiles and B-1 and B-2 bombers were hitting the Afghan capital as well as other targets in Afghanistan. Now, most of the fire you see coming up from the ground going up is at the airport outside of Kabul, which is the largest airport in the country. The second largest would be in Jalalabad, which is to the south of there. There'd be some surprise if targets around Jalalabad are not already being hit or will be hit soon, since Jalalabad does have considerable of what the Taliban has in the way of air defenses. and, for that matter, aircraft. Now, you may want to note that there are already millions of Afghan refugees in camps in Iran and in Pakistan. They've been flooding out of Afghanistan for weeks. Thousands more reportedly on the move, fleeing their homes in anticipation of war. We go back to correspondent Alan Pizzi, who is in Quetta, Pakistan. Alan?
Dan, it's gone quiet here. Earlier on, as I said, we were hearing planes going over it, but it has gone quiet. But something else has come up. If you can see over my left shoulder, a very bright moon, which tells you this is a very clear night. We're about 100, 120 miles from Kandahar, so one can assume that the weather over there is just like it is here. There's been no reaction here in this town so far. Maybe they don't know the strikes are going on. This is a very pro-Taliban area. The people here are Pashtuns. They're the same ethnic grouping as most of the Taliban. And interestingly, just today, the Pakistan government placed a leading cleric in this area under house arrest. He's been leading anti-American and pro-Taliban demonstrations, and earlier today they placed him under house arrest. So one assumes they're expecting a bit of reaction. Interesting that you were talking about the food, Dan, the airdrops. A little ways from where I am, there's an enormous warehouse with mountains of U.S. donated wheat and wheat soya compound. Wheat soya is used for people that are malnourished, and a lot of that has already been moving into Afghanistan. It's donated to the World Food Program, then they shovel it in there because there are about 5 million people inside Afghanistan that rely on food aid, and the trucks aren't very good at the moment, Dan.
Alan Pizzi. We've mentioned that these initial airstrikes, cruise missiles, B-1 bombers, B-2 bombers are underway and expected to be underway for some hours, followed by a food drop. We should also mention that the expectation runs large that there will be a special operation, so-called special ops, of possibly American fighting men and women in Afghanistan itself, but no one knows whether that is to be part of this operation or not. Part, of course, keeping the Taliban off balance is to keep them guessing about what may or may not be happening. And we may not hear about special ops in Afghanistan in order to protect the forces there, but in European capitals as well as some capitals in Asia, this is being talked about today as an absolute certainty. So we want to keep that in mind because it takes valorous people to carry out those kinds of operations, especially valorous in those kinds of operations. And one is reminded of what Plutarch said, that if all the world were just, there would be no need for valor. Well, as we've seen demonstrated and driven home to us on September 11th, all the world is not just, and today and this night in Afghanistan is the time when valor is needed. We have about 2 minutes until President Bush is to address the nation. Very quickly, let's go to retired U.S. Army General Mitch Mitchell, who's our CBS News consultant. Very briefly, Mitch, put this in perspective for us.
Well, Dan, this is just like the Gulf War. We're taking out the eyes and ears of the enemy. We're not letting him see us or hear us. And with regard to the forces that may be on the ground right now, as most people are reporting, they are going to be sure to let the enemy feel them, even if he can't see them or hear them. That's their job. We don't know exactly what their missions are, and we probably never will know exactly, but you can bet they're in there. They were in the Gulf War, and they did a magnificent job there. I expect that we'll hear from them in this war as well.
Very quickly, Mitch, would you expect that one of the things they'll be attempting to do is to snatch the hostages?
I think that is a reasonable mission. We have forces such as Delta Force perfectly capable of doing that, and I'm sure they've gone through the training to go after the hostages, as well as perhaps even another target that we know very well, Osama bin Laden.
Mitch Mitchell, who will be with us throughout this series of American airstrikes. We're just a short time away from the president speaking. You may want to note that senators close to the terrorism investigation have advised the nation to be vigilant for more danger now that the military operation has begun. We also are now hearing reports from the Kandahar region. One report says the Kandahar command base, that's an air base there and a command base. Keep in mind, Kandahar is the main headquarters, generally speaking, for the Taliban, although the nation's capital is in Kabul. The heart of the Taliban is at Kandahar. Damage has obviously been very heavy there. Earlier we said we couldn't confirm it. Now I think it's fair to say that damage in and around Kandahar is very heavy, and remember, the strikes are continuing. Now, we are awaiting the president at the White House. The president
on
is
my
just
orders,
going to the microphone.
The United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. These carefully targeted actions are designed to disrupt the use of Afghanistan as a terrorist base of operations and to attack the military capability of the Taliban regime. We are joined in this operation by our staunch friend, Great Britain. Other close friends, including Canada, Australia, Germany, and France, have pledged forces as the operation unfolds. More than 40 countries in the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and across Asia have granted air transit or landing rights. Many more have shared intelligence. We are supported by the collective will of the world. More than 2 weeks ago, I gave Taliban leaders a series of clear and specific demands. Close terrorist training camps, hand over leaders of the al-Qaeda network, and return all foreign nationals, including American citizens unjustly detained in your country. None of these demands were met. And now, the Taliban will pay a price. By destroying camps and disrupting communications, we will make it more difficult for the terror network to train new recruits and coordinate their evil plans. Initially, the terrorists may burrow deeper into caves and other entrenched hiding places. Our military action is also designed to clear the way for sustained, comprehensive, and relentless operations to drive them out and bring them to justice. At the same time, the oppressed people of Afghanistan will know the generosity of America and our allies. As we strike military targets, we will also drop food, medicine, and supplies to the starving and suffering men and women and children of Afghanistan. The United States of America is a friend to the Afghan people, and we are the friends of almost 1 billion worldwide who practice the Islamic faith. The United States of America is an enemy of those who aid terrorists and of the barbaric criminals who profane a great religion by committing murder in its name. This military action is a part of our campaign against terrorism, another front in a war that has already been joined through diplomacy, intelligence, the freezing of financial assets, and the arrests of known terrorists by law enforcement agents in 38 countries. Given the nature and reach of our enemies, we will win this conflict by the patient accumulation of successes, by meeting a series of challenges with determination and will and purpose. Today we focus on Afghanistan, but the battle is broader. Every nation has a choice to make. In this conflict, there is no neutral ground. If any government sponsors the outlaws and killers of innocents, they have become outlaws and murderers themselves, and they will take that lonely path at their own peril. I'm speaking to you today from the treaty room of the White House, a place where American presidents have worked for peace. We're a peaceful nation. Yet as we have learned so suddenly and so tragically, there can be no peace in a world of sudden terror. In the face of today's new threat, the only way to pursue peace is to pursue those who threaten it. We did not ask for this mission, but we will fulfill it. The name of today's military operation is Enduring Freedom. We defend not only our precious freedoms, but also the freedom of people everywhere to live and raise their children free from fear. I know many Americans feel fear today, and our government is taking strong precautions. All law enforcement and intelligence agencies are working aggressively around America, around the world, and around the clock. At my request, many governors have activated the National Guard to strengthen airport security. We have called up reserves to reinforce our military capability and strengthen the protection of our homeland. In the months ahead, our patience will be one of our strengths. Patience with the long waits that will result from tighter security. Patience in understanding that it will take time to achieve our goals. Patience in all the sacrifices that may come. Today, those sacrifices are being made by members of our armed forces who now defend us so far from home, and by their proud and worried families. A commander-in-chief sends America's sons and daughters into a battle in a foreign land only after the greatest care and a lot of prayer. We ask a lot of those who wear our uniform. We ask them to leave their loved ones, to travel great distances, to risk injury, even to be prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice of their lives. They are dedicated. They are honorable. They represent the best of our country, and we are grateful. To all the men and women in our military, every sailor, every soldier, every airman, every Coast Guardsman, every Marine, I say this: your mission is defined, your objectives are clear, your goal is just. You have my full confidence, and you will have every tool you need to carry out your duty. I recently received a touching letter that says a lot about the state of America in these difficult times. A letter from a 4th grade girl with a father in the military. As much as I don't want my dad to fight, she wrote, I'm willing to give him to you. This is a precious gift, the greatest she could give. This young girl knows what America is all about. Since September 11, an entire generation of young Americans has gained new understanding of the value of freedom and its cost in duty and in sacrifice. The battle is now joined on many fronts. We will not waver, we will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail. Peace and freedom will prevail. Thank you. May God continue to bless America.
The President of the United States speaking to the nation from the treaty room, pointing out that our sons and daughters are now in combat, also saying that the battle is broader. He made the point that right now the airstrikes, what will later be food drops, and the President outlined that, is concentrated in, over, and through Afghanistan. But the President seemed to make a point of saying the battle is broader. That's a direct quote. The inference of that is to other countries and other places that are harboring terrorists. In effect, the President is saying, if you want some of this, just keep on doing what you're doing. That's not what he said, but what's the inference of what he said. We go to the Defense Department and David Martin.
Dan, I thought the President gave a very clear indication of what lies ahead here in Afghanistan. He said that this first phase of attacks, which are going on now in Afghanistan, are intended, and these were his words, to clear the way for sustained and relentless operations. That, to me, suggests that after, as other people have said, after the airstrikes take out the eyes and ears of the Taliban military, then we are going to start ground operations inside Afghanistan. I don't think we're talking about anything that could remotely be called an invasion. I think we're talking about hit-and-run raids because, as the President said, no matter how accurate your weapon, these terrorists have dug caves that go back miles into some of the mountains in this very, very difficult terrain, and you cannot count on getting them all with a bomb. Besides, the U.S. intelligence very much wants to know what's inside those caves, because they have received reports over the years that Osama bin Laden is working on biological weapons, that he's working on chemical weapons, that he's even obtained some nuclear material that he could blow up as a sort of a dirty nuclear bomb. That's the kind of stuff the U.S. needs to know, and needs to know whether it's accurate or not. And that's the kind of stuff you're not going to find out by dropping bombs. That's the kind of stuff you're only going to find out by putting troops on the ground, going back in those caves, which you can count on being booby-trapped, finding out what's in there, and then hopefully getting out as quickly as possible. As one official put it to me a couple of days ago, put boots on the ground, do the job, get out.
David Martin at the Pentagon. You may want to have in mind that a Soviet general, after retreating from Afghanistan, when asked what it was like in there, said lice, dust, and blood. Bullet in the U.S. airstrike hits the defense ministry in Kabul. Damage is reported to be heavy around Kandahar in the southern part of the country. President Bush has said that the United States was joined by Britain in the making of the attacks. And the President said about the mission, which is a continuation of the new, one can only call it World War, quote, we will not tire, we will not falter, we will not fail. The global resources of CBS News will be keeping an eye on developments throughout the day. Whenever news breaks out, we'll break in. Dan Rather in New York. Right now, some of you will go back to football, and for others, we'll continue our coverage of America Fights Back.
All right, thank you, Dan Rather. And again, CBS News will keep you updated throughout the afternoon. For those of you expecting a 1 o'clock NFL game here on CBS, we're going to send you right out to your game right now.
Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. The 2-1 Cincinnati Bengals against the 1-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. The 62nd meeting between these AFC Central Division rivals. 11:24 left to play in the first quarter. The Bengals started. They got 2 first downs and then had to punt. And this is the first possession of the game for the Steelers. Jerome Bettis, 54 yards short of 10,000 yards coming in today. Stewart will throw on first down, and that is complete to Hines Ward, who has emerged as the Steelers' #1 receiver. Cordell Stewart, the Steelers ranked 29th in the NFL in passing, and Cordell admits there are times when he tries to guide the ball. Only 107 yards last week against Buffalo. He has yet to throw a touchdown pass in 2 games. That was a pickup of 9, 2nd and 1. Bettis, right side, big hole, still on his feet. The bus is rumbling. And tripped up just inside the 5 by Brian Simmons, who saved the touchdown. 48 yards.
Well, he only needed 54 to go over 10,000 yards. What a terrific first carry at Heinz Field. This is just a typical power lead play. It's called Bosch. The back, number 38, John Whitman, on the strong safety. Bettis breaks 1 tackle, and then there he goes. And you don't see long runs like this from Jerome but once a year.
First and goal from the 4. Ward is in motion. Short drop for Stewart. Almost intercepted, then almost caught by Plexico Burris. But Rodney Heath had the interception and let it get away.
You know, they ran this in practice on Friday, and the same thing happened. Cordell Stewart delayed the throw, so by the time he lofts the ball over there, the receiver is standing in the corner of the end zone waiting for it. So take a look at Burris, number 8. He's going to stand and wait and stand and wait. You know, by that time, Rodney Heath has time to come back and make a play.
2nd and goal. The bus still on his feet. Gets it down to the 2. So that will be 3rd and goal.
And that's a more typical run by Jerome Bettis. I mean, he averages 4 yards a carry, but he gets 4 every time. That 48-yard run was a spectacular start to this stadium. 51 yards today, 3 yards to go to 10,000. And normally he gets those 10,000 4 at a time, 4 at a time, 4 at a time, 4 at a time. It's amazing that a back of his size is able to last. It's incredible.
Well, he said he wanted to get 10,000 with a touchdown run. They've spotted it at the 3, so this would be 10,000 if he can get in. But just short. Knute Curtis made the stop for Cincinnati.
Well, I'll tell you what, the goal is to win the game, but you're right. He told us yesterday that he wanted to get 10,000 yards, the 10,000th yard on a touchdown run. If he puts it over this time, it looks like it'll be that 10,000. It's 4th down, give it to the bus.
4th and goal. Movement in the line. The ball is free. The Bengals fall on it, and there are flags. Larry Nimmers, our referee today, will sort things out.
Just look at the middle of the line. Yep. That's number 94, Tony Williams. So they expect the same thing to happen.
Offside. That's half the distance to the goal. We'll repeat, 4th down.
They expect Bettis to get the ball as well, and they're stacked up in the middle.
Well, typically the Steelers like to run to the left side behind the big left tackle Wayne Gandy. 4th and goal. The bus. No signal. And the Bengals have held. Canute Curtis and Corey Hall jam things up in the middle.
And
So
Jerome
Jerome
Bettis denied his touchdown run for his 10,000th yard. The story there, though, is Cincinnati. That defense in that goal line stand is huge for their confidence.
8:23 left in the first, no score.
Tomorrow's the big event. Are we there?
The work is there.
Excellent.
But it's not here.
Not here?
Not here. We have a glitch.
A glitch?
A glitch.
New York's files are garbled. The servers in London are down, and everything from Asia has just plain vanished.
Vanished?
Vanished. You know, a glitch.
So no pitch. Well, what do we do tomorrow?
Discuss our global capabilities.
And that's when it hits you. You are so ready for IBM.
Okay, Vegas, Austin, Tulsa, Vegas, honey, Yuma, and Austin. Straws, kids? Phoenix, huh?
Second possession for Cincinnati, deep in their own territory. Dillon trying to give the Bengals a little breathing room out close to the 4. Chad Scott made the tackle. Dick LeBeau talked this week of the importance of responding well to the Bengals' first loss of the year last week in San Diego. Of course, former defensive coordinator in Pittsburgh. John Kitna coming off a 3-interception game against San Diego after not committing a turnover in the first 2 games. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the year. 2nd and 7. Dillon up over the 5 and leaps to the 7. That will bring up 3rd down. Up front for Cincinnati, they've added Richmond Webb, Graham playing today. O'Dwyer, one of the strongest players in the NFL. Willie Anderson at right tackle, one of the best. Backs and receivers. Steelers have a lot of respect for Corey Dillon. Speed on the outside. Scott and Warwick. We expect to see Chad Johnson, the rookie, a lot today as well. 3rd down. 4 from the 7. Kitna from the shotgun. Steelers coming on the blitz. And that's caught by Battaglia. He's going to be about a yard short of a 1st down. Jason Gilden made the tackle. Gilden sprained his ankle in practice on Friday. It's a game-time decision, but he did start. There are the Steelers up front. Kimo von Oelhoffen, the former Bengal. The linebackers always tough in Pittsburgh. Bell is the rookie. He's made an impact early. The secondary, Scott and Washington, the corners. Myron Bell back with Pittsburgh, and he starts for the injured Lee Flowers. On 4th down, Hank Poteet lets it bounce, and it goes into Pittsburgh territory. Nice roll for Nick Harris, but still a good starting position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 6:41 left in the first. No score.
Saw it written and I saw it say, Bingo moon,
got TP on the wingtips.
Only Nextel digital cellular phones have Direct Connect.
Static cling coming at you, 12 o'clock.
A digital two-way radio feature for instant contact.
Code red, there's snow on the mountain. I repeat, snow on the mountain.
Good luck, sir.
Good luck, sir.
Good luck, sir.
So you can solve problems with the push of a button.
Gentlemen, glad to meet you.
At least the ones you're aware of. Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio feature that lets you get right through.
Play Cash is King at Burger King for your chance to become a millionaire.
First class, baby. Hey, how much for that dog? What's up, dog? Who wants to marry a millionaire? This is not what I had planned.
Play Cash is King at Burger King. Peel for a chance at great prizes. From hot, tasty food like a Whopper or croissant sandwich to a cool $1,000,000. With a 1 in 3 chance to win, the odds are on your side.
Pardon me, would you happen to have some extra ketchup?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. Nextel, how business gets done. And by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
This was a tough ticket this week here in Pittsburgh. Everyone wants to be a part of opening day at Heinz Field, this beautiful facility, the first regular season NFL game at the Steelers' new home. And after the 46-yard punt, Steelers will start at their own 44. And the flag, play clock running down, so the Steelers,
Still first down.
after the timeout, will have to take a delay of game penalty.
Yeah, that's kind of absurd because they didn't delay. Cordell is lobbying the official right now. It seems like they started that play clock a little earlier than Cordell expected. And in this new stadium, the play clock, the 25-second clock, is up high. So that it's not down low by the end zone where you're accustomed to seeing it.
Fuamatuma Afala and Zuraway are the backs. Zuraway, the deep back. That's the change-up look the Steelers like to give. Incomplete. That was intended for Plexico Burris. Over his head. Steelers offense, a veteran group anchored by Wayne Gandy, the left tackle. They opened things up last week for Jerome Bettis. Backs and receivers. Bettis 14th on the NFL's all-time rushing list. Coming off 114 yards against Buffalo. Heinz Ward has been the bright spot in the Steelers passing game. Bettis has checked back in now. 2nd and 15. Short drop for Stewart. That's caught. Back to just about the original line of scrimmage by Heinz Ward. Brought down immediately by Artrell Hawkins. Defensively for Cincinnati, the Bengals have a very tough front seven. Oliver Gibson is the former Steeler. The linebackers, and boy, are they fast. Simmons in the middle and Spikes and Foley outside. The secondary, Heath and Hawkins, are the corners. Corey Hall and Chris Carter are the safeties. So 3rd and call it 9. 4 wides for Pittsburgh. Zuraway is alone in the backfield. He stays in the block. Stewart, incomplete. That was intended for Heinz Ward, and it was thrown behind him. So a smattering of boos, and the Steelers will have to punt.
Yeah, that's a problem Cordell's had, throwing behind receivers. Heinz Ward is the receiver that he has the most timing with, and he still ends up throwing it way behind him, and you can see kind of the frustration on Heinz Ward as that ball goes by him behind.
Josh Miller will come on. He stands at his own 30, back deep. Peter Ward.
Let him go.
Ward takes it at the 15. Tries to find some room and gets up to the 23. A 40-yard punt and a 7-yard return. 5:40 left in the first quarter. Still no score.
It's amazingly clear. It's digital and multifunctional. High-definition TV from Samsung. It's a world of clarity. And everyone's invited.
Television has always brought America together. Tonight, CBS proudly presents the Emmy Awards. Celebrate the spirit of our nation as we honor the people who entertain and inform us. And remember the moments that changed our lives. Share a night with America. The Emmy Awards, CBS Tonight.
Log on to NFL.com for exclusive online auctions. All proceeds will be donated to the September 11th relief effort. Just go to NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com. First down for Cincinnati. They pitch it right to Dillon. He's able to get around the corner and driven out of bounds just past the 30 by Kendrell Bell.
Well, you talked about the speed of Dillon. The speed of the linebackers of Pittsburgh are their strength, and to be able to get the corner and turn it up, it shows amazing quickness on Corey Dillon's part. But the way they did that was they put the second tight end, Marco Battaglia, in motion, and he's the one that threw the block on the end. So that's one way to get the corner on these speedy linebackers.
A pickup of 7, 2nd and 3. Dillon left. And that will bring up 3rd and 2. Earl Holmes and Aaron Smith combined to make the stop. Cincinnati tied for the lead in the AFC Central. There are 4 teams at 2-1. Baltimore, Cleveland, and Jacksonville. The Steelers at 1-1, and Tennessee winless at 0-2.
And the Steelers already have one division loss. They lost to Jacksonville. Baltimore lost to Cincinnati. So this is a big game for the Bengals. If they can put down Pittsburgh today, they've got a big advantage when it comes to tiebreakers down the road.
Defensive battle so far. Dillon trying to power his way to a first down. Aaron Smith made the stop. Smith, the 4th-round draft pick in 1999 out of Northern Colorado.
Aaron Smith made the stop, but Joey Porter, outside linebacker, made the play. Just look at Aaron Smith. A big pile of Bengals fell on top of him. But Joey Porter outside constricted that hole, and that's what allowed Aaron Smith to get in there and make the tackle from the inside.
Steelers held. We'll bring out Nick Harris again. Hank Poteet back for the Steelers. That's a good high kick. Poteet feels it at the 22. Has some room. He's dangerous. And again, good field position to start for Pittsburgh. Ron Dugans made the stop after a 46-yard punt and a 19-yard return. 3:44 left to play in the first.
Johnson, I'd like to see some ideas on saving the company money. I'll be back first thing in the morning.
Think.
That's the dumbest! Think. Help!
Well, Johnson, Staples. That'll save us a lot of money. You are a genius.
Get extra savings for your business all this month at Staples.
Who's grilling America's favorite sirloin steaks? Well, sink your teeth into our perfectly seasoned house sirloin and you'll know. It's got to be Applebee's.
Hey, it's Dark Mountain Roast Coffee. Feel robust, full-body coffee. Always fresh. As good or better than any coffee house. And it costs less. Dark Mountain Roast Coffee, only at 7-Eleven. Get it while it's hot. It's always hot. Yeah. All day, Kevin.
totally new Nissan Altima.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood, Applebee's. And by Nissan. Nissan introduces the totally new V6 Altima, the cure for the common car.
Well, one of the unique features of Heinz Field, the Great Hall, which is an interactive football field, with 68 years of Steeler history. 4 oversized Super Bowl trophies there. Lots of things for fans to do. Steelers start from their own 41. 1st and 10. Bettis rumbles to the 44. The Steelers have averaged starting at their own 41, while the Bengals have averaged starting at their own 14. So Pittsburgh early winning the battle of field position. Bettis with a pickup of 3, 2nd and 7. And he's going to hit 10,000. They're going to stop the game shortly. They're told to award him the game ball. Play action. Stewart has all kinds of time. Heinz Ward, incomplete. Ward running the post.
But once again, Ward was open in the middle. Stewart delayed throwing the ball and made Ward run all the way across the field into the opposite zone of coverage. And there was another safety back there. But Jerome Bettis, 10,001 yards. As we look at this last play now, Stewart's going to wait. And now look when he throws the ball. Look at number 27, Artrell Hawkins. He has time to get over there, partly because Heinz Ward has to run all the way into his zone because the ball's late being thrown.
And Jerome Bettis just a moment ago ran over to the official to retrieve the ball that was thrown on the previous play, because that was the ball he used for 10,000 yards. And here's the ovation. So popular here in Pittsburgh. They love the bus. So on 3rd and long, the Steelers will go out of the shotgun. Bettis is out. Zerway is in. Stays in to block. Stewart, that's caught. Heinz Ward with a Pittsburgh first down in Cincinnati territory.
And that's the timing they're looking for. Cordell Stewart told us that the one wide receiver that he feels comfortable with timing is Heinz Ward. He knows when he's going to make his break, where he's going to be when he comes out of the break. That tells him when to throw the ball. You can see that ball was thrown as Ward was making his break. And he took 2 more steps and caught it. This is the only wide receiver that Cordell has that kind of mesh with right now. So in a critical 3rd down, that's where he goes.
Bettis is back in. Heinz Ward coming off his best receiving day last week. 7 catches for 79 yards. They give it to Bettis. There's a hole, a nice gain, and another Pittsburgh first down.
That's what Jerome Bettis calls getting skinny. He's a big back that gets his yards 4 at a time. He gets lots of carries, so he can't stand in there and get pounded like Earl Campbell did, shorten his career. Getting skinny means it's hard to hit him in the hole. Look at him, juke, move. It's hard to get a clean shot at Bettis in the hole, even though he's a big power back.
Steelers on the move. 1st and 10 from the 24. 1:44 left in the first quarter. Bettis again. Cuts left to the outside. And another nice gain. They'll spot him down at the 16. And let's send you to New York now for an update.
All right, thank you, Bill. Let's update you on Tennessee-Baltimore. Opening drive, the Ravens' Terry Allen, 9-yard touchdown run. The Ravens have held the Titans so far to only 12 yards total offense with just seconds remaining first quarter. Let's go back to Bill and Trevor.
Okay, Jim, thank you very much. So Tennessee's troubles continue. In danger of going 0-3. 2nd down and 2 from the 16 for Pittsburgh. Zerway. Inside the 10. Has averaged 7.5 yards on 13 carries coming in this season. Had the longest run of his career, 32 yards last week. in his third year out of West Virginia.
One of the reasons the Pittsburgh backs get so many yards on the ground is because of the technique of their offensive line. That time, left guard Rich Tilsky made a perfect pull and opened up the hole. They don't get the credit, but I tell you, those guys do it the right way.
Zeraway lined up behind the fullback, Whitman. Zeraway still on his feet and finally brought down at the 8. Rodney Heath made the tackle.
Yeah, that's Zeraway. He looked like a little bug out there in a pond that time. That's one thing that Bettis doesn't give you that Zeraway does, which makes the 1-2 punch of these two guys difficult for defenses. I mean, Bettis isn't going to scoot back to the opposite side of the field like that.
That's the end of the first quarter. Steelers on the move, but still no score in Pittsburgh.
The day has ended. Amber blends to twilight blue. The world softens a bit around the edges. You release all the cares of the day, and nothing else in the world matters. Bella Sera Pinot Grigio. It's going to be a beautiful evening. Or as they say in Italian, it's going to be a bella sera.
There's no fuzz on this eagle.
Donovan shaves with chunky soup.
God! No!
Mom, we're making a commercial here.
Donovan, chunky beef with country vegetables now has more beef. More lean beef to fill you up right.
More is good.
Mama, you can fill him up right after I fill him up right.
Eat your chunky, baby.
The Campbell's Chunky Beef Foursome.
Now we're more beef.
Okay, Vegas, Austin, Tulsa, Vegas, honey, Yuma, and Austin. Straws, kids? Phoenix, huh?
How did one Wall Street firm dig itself out of the rubble and start all over again? They knew who they were, and they knew what they had to do. 60 Minutes, tonight.
Well, Jerome Bettis told us he feels healthy for the first time in almost 3 years. He had knee surgery 2 years ago, took a shot on his kneecap last year, opted not to have surgery until this past February. He said he felt he was playing all of last season on one leg. But this year he says he feels quick, explosive, and fresh. Cordell. Incomplete. Throwing into tight coverage.
The two receivers in the exact same spot. You wonder why they're there. That must be miscommunication. It's interesting that they haven't thrown to Plexico Burris yet. Young wide receiver, they have got to get him involved in this game. Now, Cordell drills this ball. Problem is, which receiver's supposed to catch it? I mean, they collide with each other, and that's not supposed to happen.
Heinz Ward and Bobby Shaw were both in the same spot.
Well, Plexico Burris is a guy, when he gets started early in the game, he builds his momentum. If he doesn't, then he kind of tanks the rest of the game. They've got to get him the ball.
So third down. Cordell. And that was almost picked off by Chris Carter. So the Steelers still don't have a touchdown pass in 2001.
Well, Carter's going to come across your screen, and Cordell's going to be staring at him the whole time. Carter sees that. He waits on Shaw's hip. And then as soon as that ball comes out, he ducks in front. But that was all Carter reading Cordell's eyes.
Chris Brown on to try the field goal. 26 yards on its way and good. So the Steelers break the scoreless tie. 14:47 left in the half, and it's 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Hey, what are you putting in over there?
DirecTV system.
Satellite, huh? I already got like 70 cable channels.
Well, this thing can get over 225 if you want them, all 100% digital quality.
It's on. It's on. Unbelievable. I have a riding mower.
That's great, sir.
Now get our best programming package free for 4 months, plus free installation.
Beverly Hills. If you want the best here, it'll cost you. But the best pizza won't cost you. You can get a Pizza Hut pizza, just $8.99. Right now, it's the Big New Yorker pizza. Make it a Supreme or Specialty for just 99 cents more. Can we eat here? Only at Pizza Hut.
Going a full 12 rounds is all about stamina. That's why I like High Endurance from Old Spice. No deodorant protects better. And it lasts longer because it evaporates more slowly. High Endurance lasts longer than I do. But I'm working on that.
I'll get this.
Oh, a platinum card.
There's always a catch. Low rates that explode. Hidden fees. It's a highway robbery. Actually, I have a Capital One Platinum card.
Get a new Capital One Platinum card with a 9.9% fixed rate that starts low and stays low, plus no balance transfer fees.
What's in your wallet?
Monday, 951 days without losing a package. Can Doug break the record?
I can't sleep. I can't eat. Well, I can eat, but not as fast.
The King of Queens. Then, when you get home late, it's nice to have someone who keeps the love light on.
You're more sexy.
Oh, please. That ship sailed 5 minutes ago.
An all-new Yes Dear after an all-new King of Queens CBS Monday.
3-0 Pittsburgh after the field goal. And Thursday on CBS, the #1 show on television returns for an all-new adventure in one of the world's most dangerous places. See it from the start and find out who will be the first voted off Survivor Africa, which premieres Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Keaton trying to find some room, and he's brought down at the 24 by Amos Zerway, who tripped him up. Now, the Bengals have not advanced past their own 32-yard line. Kittner will try to get him going when we come back.
Change for $1. Sure.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Avalanche. The only vehicle that changes from an SUV to a pickup.
Thanks.
Chevy Avalanche. Like a rock.
I've been waiting for a day like this. A day when an all-in-one wireless plan would make things simple for people. The Sprint PCS Total Digital Connections plan is here. It brings all the best features together. Clear calls, nationwide long distance, voice command, and wireless web. Thanks, boy. And now it's my job to tell the world.
Total Digital Connections plan, only from Sprint PCS.
Richer, creamier, Killian's Irish Red. One look says a lot.
No other drama takes you inside the CIA like The Agency.
He's targeting the city.
A report of an infectious agent alert.
Anthrax.
Somebody with a Dixie cup and a plan.
Could kill thousands.
I've informed the White House.
How they work and what they do is more incredible than you ever imagined.
I've got the target.
The Agency after CSI, CBS Thursday.
1st and 10 for Cincinnati at their own 24. Play action. Kittner will throw it. Complete to Warwick. Warwick has a step and gets it out past the 35 before Chad Scott brought him down. That's a Cincinnati first down. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news. Plus a CBS News update, America Fights Back. Dick LeBeau. Bengals at 2-1. They own a share first place in the AFC Central. First down, Dillon To the right. He's brought down hard after a pickup of a couple. Timo von Oelhoffen was back after suffering a high ankle sprain on the second play of week 1 against Jacksonville against his old teammates. Going to bring up 2nd and 8.
Timo put a hit. When you see a back like Corey Dillon not just get dragged to the ground but get rejected, forced backwards, and his head snaps, he has been hit.
2nd and 8. Short drop for Kitna. Timing pattern. And that's just shy of another first down. Completes to Darnay Scott, who has held only 1 catch for 6 yards last week against San Diego. But one of the pregame rituals that Dick LeBeau has had with Bill Cowher since LeBeau was an assistant here in Pittsburgh is to give Cowher a piece of candy before the game, and he's continued that. Watch him kind of slip him the candy bar there. He's continued that as head coach of the Bengals.
He does slip it. I think he doesn't want Oliver Gibson to see it and come eat it.
He said he was going to give him one of those bite-sized treats. But that looked like a full-size candy bar as Dillon gets it into Pittsburgh territory.
Well, when LeBeau was the defensive coordinator here from 91 to 96, before every game, he'd put a candy bar in Bill Cowher's locker. And so last year, they played 2 games. LeBeau gave him before the first game a big candy bar. Before the second game, he gave him a little candy bar, and he said today it was going to be a teeny tiny chocolate bar with almonds in it. And so it's the incredible shrinking chocolate bar.
Warwick in motion. Dillon heads left. Nice opening, and he gets it to the 40. Brent Alexander made the stop. Dillon has rushed for 100-plus yards in 2 of the last 3 meetings with Pittsburgh.
Take a look at Willie Anderson. He's going to come along and just absolutely bury and swallow whole number 50, Earl Holmes. Look at that. He hits him, and look what happens. Boom, on the ground. You are going nowhere. That is the incredible disappearing linebacker, courtesy of Willie Anderson.
Dillon, 10 carries for 49 yards. 2nd and 2. Dillon again.
Dillon again, ball carrier.
Appears to be just shy of the first down. Aaron Smith made the stop.
Well, see, this is good, though. Even though you have a short game, right now they're grinding it out, and they're able to get the ball to Corey Dillon. As long as the score stays close, and as long as they stay out of 2nd and 3rd and long, they can get Corey Dillon untracked. And I don't expect him to get a lot of yards in the first half. But if he doesn't get a lot of carries in the first half, he won't get a lot of yards in the second half.
Bettis with 74 yards already. Dillon now with 50. 3rd and short. Dillon spins out, and he'll have the first down. Down to the 33. Bengals have made getting Corey Dillon loose the focus of their offense this week. He's been relatively quiet the last 2 weeks. Limited to 57 yards against Baltimore and only 46 yards in the loss to San Diego.
And loose he gets. He sees the linebacker blitz to his left, and so he spun back to the left after the linebacker cleared. That was 97 Kendrell Bell. We saw a good look at Corey Dillon's eyes. He was looking at Bell come up. That's where he ran.
Brandon Bennett has checked in. Kitna, play action. Intercepted. Chad Scott. And Scott brings it back to the 29.
And John Kitna is living, and he ought to be. That was play action. They kept in 9 guys to block, and 1 guy went out, Chad Scott. He was supposed to run a post against man coverage. They got the man coverage. Kitna threw the ball to the spot. Receiver didn't go there.
It was 1969. Peace, love, and music were in the air. And these guys?
Anyone see my slide rule?
Were nowhere near it.
Give it a whirl.
They were busy developing what would become the internet. As the internet evolved, so have we. BBN became GTE Internetworking. And today, we're Genuity, providing e-business solutions from the people who started it all. Genuity.
Hey,
it's Dark Mountain Roast Coffee. Feel robust, full-body coffee. Always fresh. As good or better than any coffee house. And it costs less. Dark Mountain Roast Coffee, only at 7-Eleven. Get it while it's hot. It's always hot. Yeah. Oh, thank heaven.
Inevitably, there will come a time in your life when you realize you need a cell phone. And when that time comes, we'll be here.
After the 270 horsepower Chevy Trailblazer, everything else just seems kind of weak. The all-new Chevy Trailblazer, like a rock.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original. Your neighborhood 7-Eleven store. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Well, the Steelers swept the Bengals in their 2 games last year, including 48-28 at Paul Brown Stadium last November. First down after the interception for Pittsburgh. Bengals coming on the blitz. That is a nice move. And out across the 40. The bus is rumbling. Steve Foley made the tackle. Pickup of 13. Let's take another look at the interception.
This is what you mean by miscommunication. Now, in the middle of the screen, Chad Johnson, the only receiver, is supposed to run right under that ball. But instead of continuing to the post to his left to the middle, he flattens it out up the field, and the only guy there is Chad Scott, the DB.
Pittsburgh first down from the 41. Stewart, incomplete. Underthrown, intended for Plexico Burris.
And that's that miscommunication again. We saw it with Kitten that led to an interception. Here with Plexico Burris, this has been the story of these two players' relationships, quarterback and receiver. And they've got to get the ball received by this guy, because Burris, again, will be the incredible disappearing wide receiver if they can't get him involved, and they need him to be a threat to Cincinnati's defense, or they'll stack it up against Bettis.
2nd and 10. Bettis alone in the backfield. Stewart will throw. Now he'll take off. And close to midfield. Justin Smith, the rookie, #1 draft pick for Cincinnati, made the tackle. Justin Smith, who's big and fast. He runs a 4.55 40. 4th pick overall in the draft. He grew up a Buffalo Bills fan. The player he loved watching was Bruce Smith. And he got his first NFL sack last week against Doug Flutie. Zerway is the deep back. They pitch it to him, and an open field for the speedster. And out of bounds at the 29.
Well, in college, Justin Smith had a reputation of just running to the ball and not doing his assignment sometimes. Look what he does here. He's going to come inside. What he should do is come up the field and have backside contained. And so all of a sudden, oops, Bettis doesn't have the ball. It's Zerway goes out the back that Justin Smith was supposed to contain. Now, that's a rookie mistake, and the coach will correct him tomorrow. But for today, it's a big game for Pittsburgh.
Pickup of 22. So a rookie mistake on the interception. And now a rookie mistake by the Bengals on the big game by Zerway. Bettis down to the 25.
Have you noticed that whenever Bettis gets tackled, he's always going forward? He always falls forward.
Growing up in Detroit, he was a Cowboys fan, he told us. Loved watching Tony Dorsett, but the player he said really impressed him was Walter Payton, who Jerome said used to come in and beat up on the Lions. He loved Payton's physical style when he ran, and he's tried to emulate that in his career. 13th player in NFL history to go over 10,000 yards today. Stewart will pull it down and run. And he's inside the 15, down to the 13. Vaughn Booker made the tackle.
Well, new offensive coordinator Mike Mularkey has really tailored this offense to Cordell Stewart's talents. And one of his talents is he's super fast and he's super strong. So what they did was, instead of handing the ball to Jerome Bettis, they had him lead block, and Cordell Stewart became the running back. It's a terrific job by Mike Mularkey of making this offense something that his players can excel at.
Gain of 11. First and 10 from the 14. Bettis. Corey Hall made the tackle. Third-round draft pick.
Well, some tangled up people down there. And is he wincing? Get up, Jerome. Don't lay there. Get up.
Well, Bettis is down.
Oh boy.
After such a great start, so very quiet here in Pittsburgh, and we'll be back. 3-0 Steelers.
If a running back gets enough carries and breaks enough tackles, he can rush for 100 yards in a game. But can anybody do that for 14 games in a row? Well, no, not anybody. Just Barry Sanders.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Original Coors. Brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors. Nice pitch.
Point. Shoot. Create. The HP Digital Photo Studio, featuring the Pavilion 7970 with the Intel Pentium 4 processor. How will you use it? Save up to $250 by mail on HP digital photography products.
You take as much care with the customer's car as you do with your wife's. You call each customer to make sure they're satisfied with the work. And your waiting room has coffee people actually like. So it comes as no surprise that the auto parts you recommend and install are AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. AC Delco Automotive Parts.
For a chance to win a trip to France in our Drive to Victory sweepstakes, enter at participating service centers or visit acdelco.com.
Access NFL.com now and America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
Remember when Dave met Farrah?
Wow.
See what happens when they meet again Monday on an all-new Late Show.
Jerome Bettis hits a wall in the middle of that line, but he doesn't go down. And so by the time he's able to go down, he gets hit by a whole bunch of other Bengals and Steelers and ends up getting crushed in there, but he jogged off the field under his own power.
And looks to be all right. Zorway has checked in. Movement in the line. Well, Faneca, the left guard, appeared to jump.
False start. Offense. Number 66. 5-yard penalty.
It is indeed Faneca. Bettis 10 carries, 93 yards. Amos Zorway 3 carries and 30 yards. So he's given the Steelers the changeup they were looking for. Able to take advantage of his speed. He actually comes in a package with Chris Fuamato Ma'afala, the fullback. So after the penalty, 2nd and 13. Zorway is still in the game. Stewart running to his right. Tuck it under. And a big hit down at the 7. And Cordell is up in a hurry.
Good, though. I like that. I like that. Cordell's looking for his tight end, number 87. That's Mark Bruner the whole time. And when he's double covered, Cordell says, okay, I am out of here. And he just takes off. And this is an ad-lib that he's allowed to make in this offense. In past offenses, remember, he's had 4 offensive coordinators in the last 5 years. In past offenses, he's been required to fit his talents into the system. Here, the system fits into his talents.
Rodney Heath provided the hit earlier. 4 wides for the Steelers now. On 3rd and 4, Cordell. touchdown. The first Steeler touchdown at Heinz Field, scored by Cordell Stewart.
And Cordell Stewart has got about 30 pounds on that man, Mark Roman. And he puts the juke on him and goes right by.
Chris Brown on to try the extra point.
Brown's point after is good.
And the Steelers stake themselves to a 10-0 lead after the 8-yard touchdown run by Cordell Stewart.
This Friday, don't blink. Don't move. Don't miss the monkey. From the action choreographer of The Matrix and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Iron Monkey, rated PG-13.
Rolaids announces unbeatable taste. 5 great ways to spell fast relief. And now taste tests show even Tums can't beat Rolaids. In mint or fruit flavors, what a great tasting way to spell relief. Rolaids.
Saturn is working to keep our economy strong. In jobs, in commerce, and in spirit. As part of that effort, we're providing interest-free financing on every new coupe, sedan, and wagon we make. Come visit your Saturn retailer and keep America rolling.
The phenomenon that is Survivor returns to CBS. Let's do it! First, we went to the exotic island of Pulakiga, then the forbidding Australian outback.
Oh, my God.
CBS Thursday, Survivor goes to what could be the most exotic location of all, Africa.
Survivor's ready! Go! It's the fiercest, most competitive, wildest Survivor yet.
Your favorite show is back. Don't miss the premiere of Survivor Africa, CBS Thursday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the U.S. Postal Service. The United States Postal Service is everywhere, so you can be anywhere. And by Gateway, where you've got a friend in the business.
9 plays, 72 yards on the drive, and all of those yards came on the ground. There was only one incomplete pass in that series. Chris Brown set to kick it off. Back deep for Cincinnati. Curtis Keaton came in second in the AFC, averaging almost 30 yards a return. He takes it at the 3. And down to the 29. And that's where Cincinnati will take over 1st and 10. Wednesday on CBS, The Amazing Race heats up when the 7 remaining teams find themselves in the middle of the desert. It's never too late to get into the race. Don't miss an all-new episode. Wednesday on CBS. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. Held scoreless by a tough Steeler defense. 4 possessions, 3 punts, and an interception. Dillon alone in the backfield, and he gets it to the left side. Maybe 2. Myron Bell, the strong safety, jammed things up. He started 16 games for the Bengals in 1999 after beginning his career here in Pittsburgh. In fact, he started Super Bowl 30 for Pittsburgh, and the defensive coordinator at that time, Dick LeBeau. Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7. Dillon trying to get back to line of scrimmage. He won't. Aaron Smith was the first to hit him, and Kendrell Bell brought him down.
Well, Aaron Smith got penetration. He's going to be right here. Take a look at the penetration that he gets. Up inside on all-pro linebacker, all-pro caliber, tackle Willie Anderson. That's a terrific play by number 91 Aaron Smith to beat that particular tackle. But what's happening with Pittsburgh's defense now is they have attacked the line of scrimmage and the short passing zones. And right now, Cincinnati is not able to throw it deep. That's the problem. They can't run short. They can't pass short. They've got to pass deep.
3rd and 11. Kitna has time. incomplete. That was intended for Darnay Scott. Dwayne Washington had the tight coverage. Washington broke a scoreless tie last week with that 63-yard fumble return for a touchdown.
But this is what they have to do. Darnay Scott, in the last 4 games against the Steelers, averaged 24 yards per reception. And so far today, he's been absolutely non-existent. But with Pittsburgh attacking the short part of the field, he's got to shake loose deep.
Punt by Nick Harris. Poteet. He gets it back to the 30. Chris Carter made the tackle. A 45-yard punt and a 3-yard return. Well, Saturday, Phil Petty leads Lou Holtz's South Carolina Gamecocks against Ken Hamlin and the Razorbacks. It all begins with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman on College Football Today. That's Saturday on CBS. Well, a flag is down, so let's hear from Larry Nemmers.
Ineligible player. Downfield on the kicking team, number 57. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
I talked to Al Roberts before the game. He's Cincinnati's special teams coach, and he said that what he has to do more than anything else with his special teams unit is rein them in. He said they get so excited that they go out and make mistakes, and he's got to slow them down a little bit so they get to a good football speed, not a reckless speed. You know, illegal person downfield means he just got excited and took off too early.
So they'll punt it again. Nick Harris stands back at his own 8-yard line. Lewis again should come out of this with great field position. Poteet, a wave of tacklers, pushes him back from the 40 to the 38. Chris Carter made the tackle. A 37-yard punt and -2 yards on the return.
Adrian Ross, number 57, almost made Poteet into a chicken McNugget. He came down, just had him lined up, and I'll tell you what, give Poteet credit. He's going to move to the side. 57 is right, just gonna miss him. Fortunately, because I'll tell you what, Adrian Ross thinks Poteet is pretty tasty with honey mustard sauce on it.
3:23 left to go in the half. Bettis is back in. He's the deep back. And they give it to the bus. Gets out across the 40 to the 42. Vaughn Booker and Brian Simmons combined to make the tackle.
Well, I'm glad to see he's back up and in. When he was on the ground laying there, you know, it's bad. It's bad, partly because, you know, for the Steelers, he's their man, but at the same time, he's such a good human being. You know, I mean, Jerome Bettis he's the kind of guy you want to root for. You want good things to happen because he has a kind heart. And so to see him down, you don't like to see that.
Just short of 100 yards. 2nd and 6. Cordell. And that's caught. Another Steeler 1st down, and Plexico Burris makes the reception. Now let's see how they sort this out. He bobbled the ball. See if they call it a complete pass and a fumble or an incomplete pass.
Come on up. I'm glad to see that Cordell is continuing to go back to Plexico, though. Even though it hadn't worked so far today, keep going back to the kid. Keep going back to him. Yeah, they say that he's down. So Plexico's on the top of your screen. He's number 80. He's going to come across. He's going to get the ball on time. That means Cordell threw the ball before or at the time he made his break. Now, he was down before that ball comes out. But what's important on that play, Bill, is the timing there. Cordell saw Plexico on the route. As he started into his break, Cordell threw it to the spot that Plexico should be at when he comes out. That timing is what hasn't been there in the past.
Pickup of 17. There's the 2-minute warning. It's 10-0 Steelers.
Saturn is working to keep our economy strong. In jobs, in commerce, and in spirit. As part of that effort, we're providing interest-free financing on every new coupe, sedan, and wagon we make. Come visit your Saturn retailer and keep America rolling.
When they need to get it fast, count on express mail from the U.S. Postal Service. The United States Postal Service is everywhere, so you can be anywhere.
Okay, I'm here.
Good. I just wanted to make sure that the new computers are ready to ship.
They're ready.
And they're loaded with the latest operating system?
They're loaded.
Shh. And your store guys are ready to teach people all the stuff they can do?
They're all set.
You know, Ted, you're lucky to have a cow for a best friend. Dogs are so overrated.
Harm and Mac face a showdown in the courtroom.
Good luck.
You're making a mistake. And out.
What are you willing to give up to have me?
All new Jag, CBS Tuesday.
Back in Pittsburgh and coming up on the Nextel Halftime Report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news. Plus a CBS News update, America Fights Back. Well, we had an interesting ride to the stadium today, running into Brian Simmons and Takeo Spikes in the lobby of our hotel. They had missed the early team bus, so we asked them if they wanted a lift. They said, sure. So, Trevor, you cleaned out the back seat of your car, and we gave him a ride out. It was a little embarrassing, though, all those cookie wrappers and the Cheetos.
Well, I had to have something for you to eat.
Bettis in motion, 1st and 10. Short drop for Stewart. That's close to another first down. Again, Plexico Burris. Cordell felt like his timing had been off with his receivers, so he came in on the Steelers' off day this week to work with Burris. They spent extra time after practice as well, just trying to develop that unspoken trust between quarterback and receiver. That was a pickup of 9, 2nd and 1. Clock continues to run. Bettis the deep back on the delay. This is the play that Bettis says he really likes. It allows the field to unfold in front of him, and he can pick his spots, and that's a Pittsburgh first down. Artrell Hawkins made the tackle.
Well, this is something that Pittsburgh wanted to do. They wanted to get Oliver Gibson away from the play side, so number 64, Jeff Hardys, could just seal him off, and Bettis could run to the opposite side. They do that by shifting the formation lane.
Clock continues to run inside of a minute remaining in the half. Stewart again, a flag is down, and again he hooks up with Burris. Hawkins made the tackle.
Yeah, flag down. The thing I like about this, Bill, is that Cordell is throwing the ball to the spot where he expects Burris to be, and that's where he never knew what spot Burris was going to be in the past. And you mentioned that they came in on Tuesday, the off day.
94, lined up in the neutral zone. Penalty is declined. First down.
Yeah, that's Tony Williams, who was injured and just came back. But, you know, they came in on their off day. They spent an hour together running routes. There were no coaches out there at all. There's Tony Williams. But it was that extra practice to get the extra timing. And Cordell can throw the ball. He just needs to know where to throw.
Jerome Bettis all the way over at 100 now with 103 yards. Cordell rolls to his right. He's going to throw it back. Bettis. Bettis did a good job coming up with the ball. That was short. Hawkins and Carter combined to make the tackle. Steelers will take a timeout. 35 seconds left in the half. Pittsburgh with a 10-0 lead. Well, Jerome Bettis, you think of him for his running prowess, but he did a pretty good job as a receiver right here. Well, Cordell has got to throw the ball, not aim it. Here, he's going back. He's got pressure. It ends up being a little bit short. But look what Cordell does. Oh! And he hit 427. Artrell Hawkins. It took Hawkins most of that time out to get up off the ground.
That was a pickup of 7. 2nd and 3. Clock running. Again, it's Bettis. Flags everywhere. Jerome was stopped just short of the goal line.
You know, this is a very tricky thing of Mike Mularkey. That holding penalty is bad, but look at what he's doing, though. What he's doing is you run Jerome, and then all of a sudden you toss it short to Jerome. There's no difference doing that than handing it off to him, except you let him clear the defensive line. This is Mike Mularkey. He was their tight ends coach last year.
Offense, holding, number 64. Defense, number 94, offside. Penalties offset. We'll replay 2nd down.
Well, you know, holding happens in the NFL, but offsides twice in the same series is very bad.
So they'll replay 2nd and 3. Ball is spotted at the 8. Steelers trying to add to their 10-0 lead. Bettis lined up behind Mark Bruner. Fumble on the exchange. The Bengals say they have it, and they do.
Well, now what's the problem here? What's going on? You've got the starting set. Whoa, we have a little... Cordell's a big guy. He's not afraid to get in there. Starting center for Pittsburgh, 64, Jeff Hardings, has never played center before. And so when he gets into a situation where he's trying to go to his left and get drilled by the guy on his nose at the same time, he doesn't get the ball up. That's something that you can't really practice. You just need to be in that situation in a game time. And what happens to a new center is he shorts the ball because he's so concerned about the guys that are about to hit him in the mouth.
Oliver Gibson recovered the fumble for Cincinnati. So 23 seconds remaining in the half. Bengals will let the clock run out. The defense has done a pretty decent job in keeping the Bengals in the game. No points for Cincinnati. And that saved at least 3 getting the turnover.
Well, the reason Cincinnati is not able to score is because Pittsburgh is attacking the line and attacking the short passing zones. Cincinnati doesn't have an answer yet.
And that's the end of the first half with our score 10-0 Pittsburgh. Jim Nantz will be along from New York with the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
Monday, the King of Queens is serving up big laughs.
Eating hot dogs is wrong. I don't want to be right.
Then, eating up the love life, trying to get home on time.
Come here, sexy.
Oh, please, that ship sailed 5 minutes ago.
Yes, dear. Next, Ray's dad just lost his best friend to his wife.
Cheer up, Dad. There's a guy out there for you somewhere.
And Becker's busted.
How can you tell it's even me? You're wearing the exact same raincoat. That doesn't prove anything. I wear this coat every day.
All new episodes on TV's Best Night of Comedy, CBS Monday.
Get set for the amazing race Wednesday on CBS. It's all here.
There's one brand of truck strong enough to carry the American spirit, Chevrolet. And right now, get 0% financing on every new truck we build. Silverado, Tahoe, Suburban, Trailblazer. The trucks behind a country that never quits. And you can own one, interest-free. Keep America rolling. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Shouldn't you get your own subscription to the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review? It's a heavyweight newspaper at a lightweight price. Now you can get 13 weeks of the Trib every day for just $9.99. So get a better read on Pittsburgh at a better price. The Trib, just $9.99. Dog not included.
Okay, kids.
Mom, we have our phones. We can check in.
Okay.
Introducing the Family Share Plan from Verizon Wireless. Now your family can share a ton of minutes on one calling plan.
Hey, Mom, Crimson or Candy Apple Red?
With up to 4 separate lines.
Is 20 feet enough?
Hurry in and buy one Nokia phone for $29.99 and get up to 3 free with activation.
Honey, do we need an extra hand?
And now get an extra 3,000 night and weekend minutes to share. Just call 1-800-2JOIN-IN today. Now that's something the whole family can get excited about. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Surprise! It's plaid shirt season. It's pretzel rod season. This ain't the preseason anymore. This, sports fans, is full-blown Prestone season. You know how it works, and you know how to use it, and you know what'll happen if you don't. So, protect your engines, grow your beards, and welcome to Prestone season. Now the only antifreeze tough enough for the NFL wants to take you to the Super Bowl. See your favorite Prestone retailer for your chance to win.
You're one of a kind. Ford's got you right.
Ford's driving America with unbelievable incentives on America's #1 best-selling pickups. We're driving America with $2,000 cash back on 2001 Ford F-150 and F-Series Super Duty. Or pay no interest at all. That's right, 0% APR on 2001 Ford F-150 or F-Series Super Duty. Just hurry to your neighborhood Ford dealer now, because this offer ends October 8th.
You're one of a kind. Ford's got you right.
The 10 o'clock news, now on UPN 19. Make the switch.
Whoa, did you bake this bread? Do you have any idea where it came from?
No.
So, what do you think? Don't you just love the smell of fresh baked cardboard? Subway bakes their bread fresh every day, right, Nancy?
Right, Jim. Subway's got 4 new delicious Subway Selects, like the tasty Southwest chicken, all in fresh baked gourmet bread.
Once you go fresh, you never go back.
Test your football knowledge at Subway. Just upsize your fresh value meal and get one of our 2 32-ounce gridiron trivia cups.
CBA Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Hello, friends. Welcome to our NFL Today studios in New York. Jim Nance on the Nextel Halftime Report with my friends Mike Ditka and Randy Cross and Jerry Glanville. Got a couple of audiences in, including the Browns and Chargers.
Johnson getting the first of 2 sacks against Tim Couch. The defenses have stopped the passing game pretty well. But on the running game, on the ground, LaDainian Tomlinson, the rookie everybody knows about, gets smacked hard by Earl Little. Later on, though, the running back nobody knew about earlier this year, James Jackson, number 29, takes his 12-yarder in for the touchdown. 10-3, Butch Davis and the Cleveland Browns.
You just saw the 2 top rookie rushers, and Jackson having the better of it with that touch and 43 yards. Tomlinson held to only 22 in the first half. How about the Ravens? All over the Titans on both sides of the ball today there, Coach Ditka.
Well, this is bad, and it's going to get worse. They're completely being dominated on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. And here, Terry Allen on the draw play early in the game, lead draw, 9 yards for a touchdown. Then here's what they can't make work. They can't get anything open for Eddie George. He stumbles, fumbles, and falls.
Yeah, anemic numbers for George. And how about Gerback?
Gerback's big. I mean, he's really doing the things that Baltimore brought him in there to do. Here he gets contribution for a touchdown, 78 yards, and they need big plays. That offense needs some big plays. But this is a big play right here, and this is Shannon Sharp. Bootleg, and he breaks the all-time receiving record for tight ends. Can you believe that?
The yardage record, moving past.
Was that your record you broke, Mike?
Mine was long gone.
Hey, you're still in the top 10 there, Coach. Got to be proud of that. 7th all-time tight end receiving yardage. Some of you were saying the Steelers, they're on pace for like 500 yards total offense today. And Jerome Bettis already over 100 yards in that first half, Jerry.
Not only over 100 yards, you'll see Jerome Bettis go over a total of 10,000 yards. On this play, they'll stop the game and bring the ball to the bus. Watch it. Head slap by the official. But watch Cordell Stewart. He scores the 2nd touchdown for the Steelers offense for the entire year on a quarterback draw, 8 yards. What an effort.
Nice little performance there at the open Heinz Field in Pittsburgh with the likes of Franco Harris and Lynn Swann and former Steeler greats on hand. How about Miami moved in front right before halftime over the Patriots? Antoine Smith got a touch for the Patriots. Lamar Smith answered. Fiedler seems to just know how to get it done, Mike.
Now, on the first play of the game, he did. Watch what happens here. It's picked, and he takes it in for not for a touchdown. He gets it down to where it's going to be taken in for a touchdown right here.
Vrabel's interception set it up. Antoine Smith, the star last week for the Patriots.
And he's in again. And then the other Smith, who's a pretty good football player, Lamar Smith, he got good vision, bounce outside to the right, and he scores a touchdown.
That really miscue by Fiedler. He made up for it later in the half. You see it, seconds remaining. to Weaver. What a great throw. Jet Weaver hauls it in, and the Dolphins lead in that one at halftime. Elsewhere around the league, the Redskins and the Giants with 2 minutes to go and a half. 6-6, and Kerry Collins' numbers not sharp. Banks only 32 yards passing for the Skins. Arizona jumped in front 14-0 on the Eagles. Plummer with a touchdown pass, but Philadelphia trying to fight back. Knapp's throwing a touchdown pass there for Philadelphia. Meanwhile, the Bears' touchdown was thrown by Marty Booker, the receiver, to Marcus Robinson. And, well, you saw Plummer's numbers right there. He has the Cardinals in front, but Booker, as Jim Miller gets the starting quarterback for the Bears, it's not the Miller touchdown pass, it's the Booker touchdown. The receiver has the Bears in front. And here's Minnesota's story against the Saints. Ricky Williams scores from a yard out in that game. And we'll continue here on CBS with a report from CBS News when we continue in just a moment.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel. Get right through.
This CBS Thursday is a night of television you've got to watch. You've waited all summer. This Thursday, your favorite show is back.
Survivor's ready. Come!
Survivor returns in an all-new location, Africa. With all new castaways.
I'm totally prepared for this.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Get in on the adventure from the start.
I'm there, ready to rock.
Don't miss the premiere of Survivor Africa. Then, was it suicide or murder?
He was electrocuted.
See why CSI's next case
Can I have your pickle?
is a real shocker. Don't miss the smash hit CSI. And no other drama takes you inside the CIA like The Agency.
He's targeting the city. There was a report of an infectious agent alert. Anthrax. I've informed the White House.
How they work and what they do is more incredible than you ever imagined.
I've got the target.
An all-new Agency. Survivor, CSI, and The Agency. It's all here, CBS Thursday. You've got to watch.
It's a great game so far. That's terrific.
Hey, Billy, we're going to town to meet the girls. You want to come?
Nah, I'm just going to stay here today.
See you later.
Now, here is the latest from CBS News. Operation Enduring Freedom, the U.S. retaliation against Osama bin Laden and Afghanistan's Taliban rulers is underway. U.S. Tomahawk cruise missiles delivered the first blows, hitting military targets near the capital city of Kabul, as well as other targets across the country, including the Taliban's military headquarters in Kandahar, which initial reports indicate has been heavily damaged, perhaps even destroyed. Other airstrikes are being delivered by, besides British missiles, being delivered by American B-1, B-2, and B-52 bombers. President Bush addressed the nation from the White House about an hour ago.
On my orders, the United States military has begun strikes against al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan. These carefully targeted actions are designed to disrupt the use of Afghanistan as a terrorist base of operations and to attack the military capability of the Taliban regime.
Other headlines. The U.S. is getting aid from more than 40 countries, aid of one kind or another. Britain is taking direct part in the airstrikes. U.S. officials say the nation is now on high state of alert now that the U.S. airstrikes have begun. American relief flights to aid Afghan refugees are scheduled to begin food drops tomorrow morning, Afghanistan time, flying in from Western Europe. Let's go to CBS's David Martin at the Pentagon. David?
Dan, the airdrops of food will begin after a night of air strikes, which are designed to eliminate or at least disrupt the Taliban military capabilities. The transport planes that drop the food will fly at a very high altitude out of range of Stinger shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missiles, which you cannot count on destroying with airstrikes. So there should be no danger to the planes. The point of these airdrops is to get food to people who are starving now, to stop them from fleeing into neighboring countries like Pakistan, and to convince them that this is not a war against the Afghan people, this is a war against the Taliban.
New batteries. Liquid wrench.
battery cables. AC Delco Ultra.
Maybe I'll believe her more.
What are you talking about? So she says, Tom, get a Bible, put your hand on it, and he says, we hit the big one.
My wife says, you quit being on a lottery, you don't even play the lottery.
We hit the Pennsylvania lottery for $27 million. This was meant to be for a group of guys to hit like this. This should be the last paycheck we should ever need.
The 10 o'clock news, now on UPN 19. Make the switch.
68 yards rushing in the first half for Pittsburgh. They came into this game ranked second in the AFC in rushing yards per game. They already have more yards per game in the first half than they average per game.
248 yards total offense for Pittsburgh. Only 68, as we said, for Cincinnati. Now what do the Bengals have to do? Do they get away from their game plan much? Still going to give the ball to Corey Dillon?
Well, what they need to do is understand what Pittsburgh's doing to them. Pittsburgh's defensive backfield has been playing soft coverage in their first two games this year. They made a change-up in game plan for this game where they're bumped and pressing receivers at the line. And so far, Kitna and the Bengals have not adjusted to that change in Pittsburgh's defensive style. That's why it'll be interesting to see what they do coming out in the third quarter.
Well, he's so popular here in Pittsburgh. Jerome Bettis, 10,000 yards. In fact, he was earlier in the stadium office giving them a tape for the music to run during the pregame. He said, now listen, that's all edited, so all you have to do is play it.
Well, he's a take-control kind of guy. I mean, we saw him go and get the football that he went over 10,000 with. He said that Wayne Gandy, his offensive left tackle, has been lobbying to get that ball. Wayne Gandy lobbied Jerome Bettis' parents to get the ball, and so I'm sure he told the equipment guys to keep this away from number 72.
Steelers will get the ball to start the second half. Troy Edwards. Hit, driven back at the 20. Raynard Wilson, the defensive end, made the stop.
Well, now, if you're Pittsburgh, you do nothing differently. You keep pounding the ball. You maintain time of possession. You put it on the Cincinnati Bengals to make the adjustments. Because right now, they really don't need to make adjustments. I mean, you look at Cordell's numbers there. They're not spectacular. But what doesn't show in those numbers is the plays where he has been the primary ball carrier. And so he's a more complex part of the offense this year than he has been in the past.
1st and 10 from the 20. Bettis alone in the backfield. Fake it to him. Stewart keeps it. Pittsburgh first down. Mark Bruner, the tight end.
See, when you've got Cordell as your quarterback and you want to use his talents, what do? You move him a lot. So it's a naked bootleg out to, naked meaning there's no blockers for him, out to his right. The second choice of receiver is Bruner, 87. He looks at number 84, Jeremy Tooman short. He's covered, so he lofts it over to the open guy. I mean, he has plenty of time.
1st and 10 after the pickup of 15 from the 35. Bettis. Steelers love to run to the left side. Bettis able to turn the corner for a couple. Sakio Spikes pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah, and you know, against this defense, that play is not designed to go all the way out there. It's designed to hit right between the hash and the numbers, and they just stretched it out. The problem with Bettis is that if you want to run him to the sideline against a team with such fast linebackers as Cincinnati, you know, it's not going to happen. And so, you know, that play went where it wasn't designed to go.
Now, this is the 9th 100-yard game for Bettis in his career against the Bengals. He checks out, and Amos Zerouay checks in. They give it. It's on the ground, and the Bengals have it. Tried to give it to Zerouay, and Artrell Hawkins recovered the fumble. So another big play from the Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, this was system overload for Cordell. He goes to fake a pass and then hand off on a delay to Zerouay, but in his face is 27, Artrell Hawkins. So Cordell sees him, and then he delays a little bit, and he's out of position for the handoff. And so he kind of freaked out there. when Archo Hawkins comes in. Look at the top of your screen, and here comes Hawkins. Now, the problem there was that he was in Cordell's line of sight.
Easily the best starting position for the Cincinnati offense. From the 33, Dillon, nice hole. A flag is down as Dillon gets inside the 20.
Well, and that's bad. The Pittsburgh Steelers defenders are signaling holding. We talked about in the first half, Bill, that Corey Dillon didn't need to get a lot of yards in the first half, and he didn't. But he needed to get a lot of carries in the first half, and he did. He got 14 carries, and so that's where he will get stronger.
Offense, number 72. That penalty is declined. Holding, offense, number 80. That penalty is accepted. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Well, it's like a buffet. You get your choice. 72 is Matt O'Dwyer. 80, of course, is Peter Warrick blocking downfield for Corey Dillon. You know, and I like it that Warrick was blocking downfield. Receivers, when they've got a back that can break the long run at any time, block downfield with a sense of urgency. And this time around, you know, they got caught. But, you know, it's bad for that to happen because it went from being a momentum-building play for Cincinnati, it was a terrific play, to being a momentum-building play for Pittsburgh. And so that's a huge thing to have happen coming out when you're trying to implement your halftime adjustments.
Cleveland, San Diego, tied at 10. New England playing Miami tough today. The Giants at the half by 3 over Washington. So after the penalty, 1st and 20 from the 42. Kittner will throw. That's caught by Darnay Scott. And he has it down to the 27. Chad Scott made the tackle. Chad Scott had that late reception that sealed it last week against Buffalo. The only interception by the Steelers coming in all season. So 2nd down. Early in the 2nd half, 10-0 Pittsburgh. On the blitz and a sack. Aaron Smith just wouldn't be denied. He got a hold of Kittner and wouldn't let go.
Aaron Smith is just relentless. He's right here. Take a look at the penetration he gets. And Kittner's a big, strong guy. You know, Kittner goes 217 pounds. In one hand, Aaron Smith's got him by the jersey and drags him to the ground. Well, that's a King Kong play right there. And see, you're going nowhere, my friend.
3rd and long. 3 wide, Scott, Warrick, and Johnson. Kittner will operate out of the shotgun. Steelers rushing 4. Kittner. Intended for Peter Warrick and broken up at the last moment by Deshae Townsend.
Well, Deshae Townsend's the nickelback. He's the 3rd corner going up against the playmaker, Peter Warrick, and he ran with him step for step for step. Peter Warrick, number 80, he's going to be the inside receiver on number 26, Deshae Townsend. And Townsend gets on his inside hip. When Warrick's head turns around, Townsend turns his head around. It's a perfect technical play.
Great coverage, and that will bring out Neil Rackers to try a 51-yard field goal. He was 3 for 3 in the opener, but 0 for 3 against the Ravens. Didn't have an attempt last week against San Diego. Well, that's short and left. So no points for Cincinnati. And again, the Pittsburgh defense holds. 10-0 Steelers.
A recent survey indicated millions of American teenagers never touch alcohol. And that's great, absolutely great. But some teenagers do drink, and that's not great. So if you know any kids who drink, talk to them and listen to them. Because even one kid drinking is one too many.
On June 6, 1944, American and Allied forces landed on Normandy beaches in the name of freedom and liberty. This fall, Jeep joins HBO in honoring all the men and women who served in the Second World War. HBO presents Band of Brothers.
Corporate attorney Nick Fallon's toughest battles aren't about money.
Look the other way. I can't. This kid just needs help.
The Guardian, all new CBS Tuesday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Well, the Steelers' last two possessions have ended in fumbles. Just before the half, they toss it back to Zuraway. He has a seam and is into Cincinnati territory.
Now that time it looked like it's supposed to. Jerome Bettis, they ran that play too, and he ended up getting strung out to the sideline. It's supposed to cut up right inside the numbers, and Zuraway hits that, makes his cut, and goes. And this is the changeup that he gives them. He gives them the fast guy, whereas Bettis is the plotter. Although he's quicker than you think, but Zuraway is much, much faster. And so he's through that hole before Cincinnati's internal timing catches up to him.
Gain of 17. Bettis has come back in. That's caught by Heinz Ward. Ward is inside the 40. Our NFL interactive poll question this week. At this point in the season, which team has been the most impressive? Green Bay, Philadelphia, Oakland, San Diego, or St. Louis? Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com.
You know what? I like the Rams. What they did to Miami was just critical. Miami had such a dominant defense. Everyone expected them to slow down the Rams offense, and the Rams offense rolled over them like they were a nickel on the interstate.
San Diego not bad either after running 15 a year ago, threatening to go 4-0. Quick little pitch to Heinz Ward. That doesn't fool the Bengals. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. Cordell, by the way, started 3 of 10, but he's hit his last 6 in a row since Takeo Spikes made the tackle.
Well, you're going to see Heinz Ward right there, lines up in the slot, and it's just a little shovel pass. And this is another way to neutralize a fast penetrating defense. You run plays like this to take advantage of them getting up the field, and then you toss it up underneath them.
3rd and 8. From the 38. The numbers for Cordell. Stewart will throw. Zuraway will be short of the first down. Down to just shy of the 35. Vaughn Booker made the tackle.
So this is what I love about this Cincinnati defense. I mean, Vaughn Booker, defensive end, makes the tackle on a swing pass out there. They've got tremendous speed all across that front 7, and if the offense hesitates at all, if they don't hit the hole instantly, what will happen is those guys will catch them and gang tackle them no matter where they are on the field.
And the Steelers are going to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 4. 4 wides. Edwards in motion. Cordell on the slant, incomplete. Was trying to hit the rookie Burris, but Rodney Heath had the outstanding coverage, so it will go over on downs.
Well, Burris is listed as 6'5". I think he's more like 6'6". Heath is 5'9". He's able to take that away from the taller man.
9:19 left in the 3rd. Still 10-0 Pittsburgh.
This workmanship could make a lot of lira selling these in New York.
Yeah, look at these prices. These guys don't know what they got.
They're clueless. Try asking the old guy if he can handle a production of 10,000 of these.
No problem, signora.
What's it say? They have 2 million units warehoused in New Jersey. New Jersey?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
The right infrastructure can take your business anywhere, even New Jersey.
Bye-bye.
On June 6, 1944, American and Allied forces landed on Normandy beaches in the name of freedom and liberty. This fall, Jeep joins HBO in honoring all the men and women who served in the Second World War. HBO presents Band of Brothers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jeep, makers of Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, and the all-new Jeep Liberty. IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Domino's Pizza. Get the door, it's Domino's.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, how did one Wall Street firm dig itself out of the rubble and start all over again? They knew who they were and they knew what they had to do. That's the story tonight on 60 Minutes. First down for Cincinnati. Kittner will throw. Incomplete. That was intended for Dillon. Well, the Steeler defense held Buffalo to only 172 total yards and sacked Rob Johnson 4 times last week. They allowed the Bills only 52 yards on the ground, and so far Cincinnati with just 77 yards in total offense. Steelers with 13 first downs, the Bengals only 5. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Dillon. The Steelers are waiting. Bell and Porter made the stop.
Boy, Aaron Smith there too. This is one of the reasons the Steelers love this 4-3 or 3-4 defense. 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers. You see the 3 down linemen right there. Usually there's 4 in most defenses and 3 linebackers. But because, as we see Kendrell Bell, number 97, blow up that play, because the Steelers have so many fast, powerful linebackers, Joey Porter, Kendrell Bell, Jason Gilden, Earl Holmes. These guys, what they do is use the defensive line to make a pile and let the linebackers run.
3rd and 12. Kittner with time. And that's caught by the rookie Chad Johnson. And a Cincinnati first down.
Well, we talked about the halftime adjustment that needed to be made to throw the ball over that 12 to 15 yard spot. Now Chad Johnson is going to come down about 17 yards and then he's going to break it in. It's a terrific throw by Kittner, but the most important thing about that play, Bill, is that they took it beyond that zone that Pittsburgh's taken away. Line of scrimmage to 12 to 15 yards.
20-yard gain. Dillon inside the 45, down to the 44. Holmes and Bell combined to make the stop. We talked with Bill Cowher about Kendrell Bell this week and asked him when he knew that there was something special about the rookie linebacker. He says it was during a goal line drill in training camp that Bell had a hit on Jerome Bettis that was one of the most vicious collisions that he said he's ever seen, and that was kind of a moment of epiphany when he realized he had to do something to get Bell on the field.
And not just ever seen, ever heard. It was loud.
2nd and 8. Kittner dumps it off to the fullback, Lorenzo Neal.
You know, it's not going to work. That's just not going to work. Chad Scott all over that. As long as they dump it short, Pittsburgh is going to be all over them. The reason is they made that change, the Steelers did. The change is they're bumping and pressing the receivers. They've got their whole defense up close. In the first 2 games, there's Neal, makes the catch, very nice, but who's there but the corner, Chad Scott. In the first 2 games, the Steelers played soft coverage. Cincinnati thought they could dump it short. The Steelers are coming up with press coverage. Cincinnati's not adjusting.
3rd and 6. Kittner over the middle and overthrows Peter Warrick. And Warrick is wide open.
Well, good. That's the adjustment. They missed it. Okay, fine. That's not good. But they went to the right spot. They're making the adjustment in game plan. And Kittner's upset about that. But he can't drill this ball. He's got to loft it over the linebackers. The trajectory is just way too flat. Now, don't get mad at Warrick for that, John. That's, you know, you got to loft that ball over the linebackers.
Harris with a 43-yard average today.
Let him go. Let him go.
Poteet lets that go into the end zone. A touchback.
Touchback. First and 10, Pittsburgh ball.
Steelers will start first and 10 when we come back. 6:28 left in the third. It's 10-0 Steelers.
My baby loves me. She gets me feeling so fine. And when she loves me, she lets me know that she's mine. And when she kisses, I feel the fire get hot. She never misses. She gives it all that she's got. And when she asks me,
The cars from Chrysler. So distinct. They have an attraction all their own.
that's what I say. I see it, yeah.
Smirnoff Ice Premium Malt Beverage, reminding you that whatever it takes, never drink and drive.
There's been some dramatic declines in the stock market in the last year. Historically, we have a decline of 10% or more about once every 2 years. That's the nature of the market. Even in good markets, we have declines. If you don't understand that, you're not going to be a good investor. Since World War II, we've had 9 recessions. Guess what? Corporate fraud's gone up about 60-fold since World War II. The stock market's up over 60-fold. The stock market historically has been a very good place to be over every 20-year period. That's why you invest in the stock market.
Access NFL.com now on America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
Winning the race could fulfill dreams.
Hopefully we'll be able to afford the wedding that she wants. Nothing better than winning that $1 million for me.
The Amazing Race, all new CBS Wednesday.
That's the story, 10-0 Steelers. And for the best NFL info on the net, including expert analysis and in-depth team reports, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. First and 10 from the 20 for Pittsburgh. Here comes Cincinnati on the blitz. Cordell keeps it in trouble. His great athletic ability to make something out of nothing. Yep. Steve Foley finally made the tackle. The pressure came from Bernard Whittington.
And what gave him that was Whittington just didn't get off his feet, but he got up onto his toes when he put his hands in the air. That delayed him enough to allow Cordell the corner.
Pick up a 5. 2nd and 5.
By the way, that guy's an amazing jazz piano player. He was playing in the hotel last night.
Bettis is the deep back. He'll give it to the bus again on the left side. He's got a nice opening. And a Pittsburgh first down. Chris Carter pushed him out of bounds. 5th-year free safety out of the University of Texas.
Yeah, he's faster than he looks. Now this again is supposed to hit where they are now. It's supposed to hit right outside the hash, and it does. But then instead of cutting it up, he continues to take it outside. That's good speed for the big man. It's deceptive speed for the big man.
That is 14 carries, 115 yards. First and 10 from the 35. Motion. Bettis doing a nice little move to pick up 3. Of course, this is opening day at Heinz Field. Steelers have not had a lot of success in opening their new homes. The last time they did, 3 Rivers, September 20th, 1970. Terry Bradshaw's first year in the National Football League. They played the Houston Oilers, and it was a tough day. The Oilers won it 19-7. Hoping for better things today. 2nd and 7 for Pittsburgh. Cordell in trouble right away. Takeo Spikes was almost as though he had read the play.
Yeah, this is a terrific call. They bring Takeo Spikes and middle linebacker Brian Simmons up into the middle. They pre-align the stunt, meaning they get into their gaps before the snap, and they don't account for number 51, Takeo Spikes. He gets there so fast that the running back who's trying to block him can't get there.
3rd down and 19.
So 3rd and 19 for Pittsburgh. Takeo Spikes, the UFC Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. Zerway and Fuamatuma follow in the backfield. Cordell gets rid of it, and that's a beautiful play. Bobby Shaw has a Pittsburgh first down.
Well, I'll tell you why that was a beautiful play. They pre-aligned a blitz the last play, and they got him. They pre-aligned the blitz this time and bailed out of it, and this time they had 8 guys back. The inside receiver, Bobby Shaw. There's 8 guys back in coverage now after that pre-aligned blitz bailed out, and Cordell and Bobby Shaw, in an individual effort, defeat that coverage. As we see Justin Smith get a paw on him. That was terrific timing there.
Good job getting rid of it. And Shaw able to get past the first down. Parker pick up a 22. Now Bettis with a stutter step, and he'll lose 1. Spikes again in the backfield.
And so quickly in the backfield. I mean, he was in there so fast. It's one thing when a linebacker is where you expect him to be, which is at the line of scrimmage or a yard or 2 behind it. But when he's a yard deep into the backfield, there's nowhere for you to make a cut. Takeo Spikes can get there because he's so inordinately quick. You talk about the Baltimore Ravens linebackers and their mobility. A lot of people in the league think that this trio for Cincinnati has that same kind of speed.
Prior to that play, the Steelers were averaging 8 yards per play on the ground. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Cordell, Ward, close to midfield.
They have another timing issue here. That's a quick screen to the wide receiver and the fullback and the offensive guard. You've got John Whittington and Rich Tilsky are supposed to go out there and block, but they're late. And so the guy that eventually catches the ball, Heinz Ward, isn't able to run off of their blocks. The defenders are there.
Bettis checks out. Zerway is back in on 3rd and 8 for Pittsburgh. 4 wide, Spurse, Ward, Shaw, and Edwards in for the Steelers. And Pittsburgh will have to take a timeout. So 1:59 left in the 3rd. It's still 10-0 Steelers.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore. And love is all that I can give to you.
Point, shoot, create. The HP Digital Photo Studio, featuring the Pavilion 7970 with the Intel Pentium 4 processor. How will you use it? Save up to $250 by mail on HP Digital Photography products.
Here's your large pizza and free cheesy bread.
Free? I didn't get you anything.
Oh, that's okay.
No, it's not okay.
Oh, well,
Free cheesy bread. That's great. There you go. I know it's not much, but it's dishwasher safe.
Get a free order of Domino's delicious mozzarella and cheddar-covered cheesy bread when you call now and buy any large one-topping pizza for $9.99. Make it a meal with wings and a 2-liter Coke. Get the door. It's Domino's.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. And by the HP PhotoSmart digital camera. How will you use it?
Tonight on CBS, share a night with America and your favorite TV stars. The Emmy Awards, live. That's tonight after 60 Minutes on CBS. So after the timeout, the Steelers 3rd and 8 from midfield. Ward in motion. Cordell over to Heinz Ward. Trying to break him free. He'll pick up 2. And And the Steelers will have to punt.
There's that speed we're talking about. They had it on the outside. They ran the same kind of quick screen, this time to the left. And they had the blocking, and if Ward could have gotten to the outside, he would have been streaking up the sideline untouched for about 25 yards before they had a chance to catch up to him. But the inside pursuit got there before he had a chance to get untrained.
Josh Miller is on, standing at his own 35-yard line, set to kick to Peter Warwick. He's back about the 10.
Let it go! Let it go!
Fair catch called for by Warwick, and he makes it at the 20. And that's where Cincinnati will start first and 10. A 30-yard punt. 1:10 left in the third.
These are quarter carats, and these are half.
They're beautiful. What kind of cut is that?
This is a round cut. If you look hard, I'm sure you can see them.
They're fantastic.
Who's the guy? Who is this guy?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
These are 8 carats, and these are 10 carats.
Make it a Bud Light.
Play Cash is King at Burger King for your chance to become a millionaire.
First class, baby. Hey, how much for that dog? What's up, dog? Who wants to marry a millionaire? This is not what I had planned.
Play Cash is King at Burger King. Peel for a chance at great prizes. From hot, tasty food like a Whopper or croissant sandwich to a cool $1,000,000. With a 1 in 3 chance to win, the odds are on your side.
Pardon me, would you happen to have some extra ketchup?
Okay, Mr. Manning, your DirecTV system's all hooked up. Suppose you'll be wanting NFL Sunday Ticket.
What? You think all I care about is football?
Well, no.
Hey, I'm into other things. Foreign films, cooking shows.
Right. So you want the football thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 regular season games every Sunday, and it's not on cable. Now get our best programming package free for 4 months, plus free installation.
Bruschetta?
Meet the new survivors. Diane, the mail carrier. Silas, the bartender.
I'm gonna go tackle this 110%.
Survivor Africa premieres CBS Thursday, 8/7 Central.
Was it suicide or murder?
He was electrocuted.
See why CSI's next case
Can I have your pickle?
is a real shocker. All new episode CBS Thursday.
CBS Monday, a night of comedy, all new episodes. The King of Queens, Yes Dear, everybody loves Raymond Becker, and the hit drama Family Law. Cincinnati first and 10 from the 20. Kitna completes to Darnay Scott, who's been very quiet. Dwayne Washington made the tackle. Darnay Scott with only 1 catch last week against San Diego. With that completion, nets a first down and gets it out to the 37. Pickup of 17.
What's interesting here is they do play soft coverage this time. This is what Cincinnati expected. They completed anyway. Kitna stumbles, able to get it out to the flat to Peter Warwick, and Warwick is out of bounds just about at the line of scrimmage, driven out by Myron Bell. Okay, well, who's been quiet, Bill? Who have we not seen much of this quarter, this half? Running back, Corey Dillon. Where on earth is he? Peter Warwick has caught a few short passes. That's fine. The only guy that's really had any offensive production in the third quarter is Kitna to Darnay Scott. And really, they ought to keep going to Darnay. Look at that, 0 yards in the second half. He had 0 yards in the third quarter last week.
Warwick goes out, limps off. Dugan steps in. And that's caught by Darnay Scott. That appears to be another Cincinnati first down.
They got to keep going there.
All of a sudden, Darnay Scott has come to life.
Yeah, and I think he's come to life. I'm sure that he and Kitna, went to Bob Bratkowski, got on the phone and said, hey, look, we're getting nothing with all this other spread the ball around. We got one guy that's giving us production, number 86. Let's go to him.
Came in as the Bengals' leading receiver with 192 yards. Now Dillon. Pickup of 3, just inside Pittsburgh territory, tripped up by Brent Alexander. Well, that's the end of the third quarter with our score, Pittsburgh 10, Cincinnati nothing. We'll be back to Heinz Field after this message and a word from your local station.
Johnny's dad just lost his best friend to his wife.
He shouldn't be with her. He should be with me.
Cheer up, Dad. There's a guy out there for you somewhere.
And all new Raymond, CBS Monday.
Share a night with America. The Emmy Awards, CBS Tonight.
This is Steelers territory, where black and gold are the order of the day. This is where bragging rights are born and memories are made. This is where friends and family and a burning passion for the game are fueled, refreshed, and celebrated. It's where magic reigns, and anything is possible and a special play lasts forever. This is to all the good times, past, present, and future. This is Steelers territory. This is for the fans.
There's one brand of truck strong enough to carry the American spirit. Chevrolet. And right now, get 0% financing on every new truck we build. Silverado, Tahoe, Suburban, Trailblazer. The trucks behind a country that never quits. And you can drive one home today, interest-free. Keep America rolling. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Welcome to the DeSalvo family reunion, where peaceful togetherness and friendly feasting are alive once again. Where fearless adventurers explore uncharted territory. And Ted discovers there are many ways to cook a steak. Meanwhile, Aunt Nettie gives time-tested advice to her expecting niece. And once again, the DeSalvos prepare for a little healthy family rivalry. Trust what you know. You're covered.
The 10 o'clock news, now on UPN 19. Make the switch.
Cincinnati will start the fourth quarter right at midfield. 3 times they've gotten into Steeler territory, still no points. Kittner, short drop, and that's caught by Tony McGee, the tight end, and he's close to another Cincinnati first down.
So if you want to get Corey Dillon more involved, you take the tight end, run him out to the sideline, make the linebacker run with him. That's a good move offensively, a good throw by Kittner, a good decision. But once again, last week, Corey Dillon had 0 yards in the third quarter and then was taken out because then by that time San Diego had the lead on the Bengals. All of a sudden this third quarter, Corey Dillon has 2 yards for the quarter, and now the Steelers are in danger of, as far as Cincinnati's concerned, of building another lead. If they have another unanswered score, Corey Dillon's going to be out for the fourth quarter. He won't be a factor.
See the measurement just shy of the first down. Bring up 3rd and 1. We'll follow all the games on NFL.com, and after the games, get in-depth analysis and recaps from the experts. Only at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com. So just inside the 43, they spot it. High formation. Corey Dillon behind Lorenzo Neal. Kitten on the quarterback sneak, and he appears to have it. So Cincinnati able to keep the drive alive.
Well, it's just a steps over to the right. Number 50-year-old Holmes, I didn't know nobody could bend quite that way. But that was what Kittner was looking at, that big 5 and that big 0 when he finally ducked his head and went to the ground.
1st and 10 from the 41. Dillon. Nothing there again.
Well, they're still trying to get him established in a 10-point deficit for Cincinnati. At this point in the game is still okay. They can still grind out Dillon. He still might break free, but they've got to be very careful at this point because if they don't score on this drive, they've got to change their game plan completely.
Dillon lost one, so 2nd and 11. Kittner throws it up, incomplete. Great pressure from Aaron Smith and Earl Holmes.
He was looking for tight end Tony McGee or for Chad Johnson. As you look at the rush, we're looking at number 50, Earl Holmes, and he closes with Kitna. He's waiting for Chad Johnson to get open deep. You can see him hesitate. Now look at Kitna. He's looking at Johnson. Now wait, get open. And all of a sudden the rush gets there. So 3rd and 11. This is a critical series for them.
Cincinnati yet to score, down by 10, and Kitna will take a timeout. 13:23 left to play.
You're the voice from TV. The sleepover bandits.
Critics are calling Bruce Willis perfect in Bandits, one of the year's best films, says Joel Siegel.
Got the gun?
No. It's an immensely entertaining comedy.
Great.
It's wickedly funny. With non-stop laughter.
Just give us a little bit of the money.
No, good manners are no excuse for criminal behavior.
I'm stumped.
Bandits, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, October 12th at theaters everywhere.
My name's Kerry Klemecki, and I change light bulbs.
Kerry Klemecki is one brave man.
It does get kind of witty up here.
But would Kerry Klemecki ever be brave enough to get car insurance without a State Farm agent?
Car insurance with no State Farm agent? Now that scares me. Woo!
When it comes to car insurance, be like this State Farm customer and get an agent you can rely on.
It's Larry, your State Farm agent. Come on up.
Plus competitive rates.
How did one Wall Street firm dig itself out of the rubble and start all over again? They knew who they were, and they knew what they had to do. 60 Minutes, tonight.
Still 10-0 Steelers, and coming up in the Subway postgame show, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores, highlights, and the latest NFL news. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. Big play upcoming for Cincinnati. 3rd and 10.
Here's Darnay Scott.
From the 42. Kitna. There's a flag. They're going to wave it off. Incomplete. That was intended for Darnay Scott. The preliminary signal is against the Bengals.
And Kitna was looking at Scott the entire time.
False start offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
False start called on Richmond Webb.
That's actually a good thing, though. Here's Richmond Webb. It's actually a good thing he does this. It gives him another shot at it. It was 3rd and forever anyway. Yeah, just a little. When you got Joey Porter across the line. Joey Porter had 10.5 sacks last year. He's a very fluid pass rusher. And, you know, you just try to get an extra little hitch, but it actually turned out to be good for the offense.
3rd and 15. Kitna up top, almost intercepted. Nice defensive play from Mike Logan, the nickelback.
And there was no way that Kitna could have thrown a ball that would have been completed here. The trajectory has got to go up and over the underneath coverage, in this case Logan. And so Logan's so close that he's got to throw it harder, and there's just no way he could sneak the ball in between the over and under guys.
Harris will punt. Poteet deep to receive.
Poteet is back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Harris will punt again. Good hang time. Fair catch called for and made by Poteet. Steelers will start at their own 18 after the 29-yard punt. 13-10 remaining.
When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light. When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light. When you're ready for a cold one, a Rocky Mountain cold one.
There's cold, and then there's Coors Light. Frost brewed for that Rocky Mountain cold taste.
When you're ready for a cold one, it's gotta be a cold Coors Light.
Beverly Hills,
Bettis. If you want the best here, it'll cost you. But the best pizza won't cost you. You can get a Pizza Hut pizza, just $8.99. Right now, it's the Big New Yorker pizza. Make it a Supreme or Specialty for just 99 cents more. Can we eat here? Only at Pizza Hut.
Never once did your car ask you for flowers. Never once did it ask you if it looks fat. Or did it get mad at you for leaving the seat up? Doesn't it deserve something special in return? Come on. What's in here?
A lot of cargo room is a good thing. Right?
Unbelievable.
The Accord from Honda.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda Accord. It's advanced, it's roomy, it's the Accord. Pizza Hut, where every week this fall, you can get one of our delicious pizzas for an unbelievable price. And by Circuit City. We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you.
The statue of Art Rooney, one of the founders, or the founder of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and one of the great men in NFL history. The heart and soul of this franchise for so long. Steelers take over, 1st and 10. They give it to Bettis. Bettis picking his way to the 25. The Steelers had to overcome 125 yards in penalties last week against Buffalo, but a clean game today. Only 10 yards in penalties so far. Steelers 206 total yards on the ground today,
but only 10 points. So give credit to the Steelers, but boy, give credit to that Cincinnati defense for being opportunistic and stopping them when they had to.
Matumala, Fala, and Zuraway in the backfield. This is Amos Zuraway, keeps his feet and is out across the 30. And that's going to be a Pittsburgh first down. Brian Simmons, the middle linebacker, made the tackle.
I'll tell you what, if you're Brian Simmons and this Cincinnati defense at this point, what you're thinking is, hey, folks, the offense hadn't scored for 3 quarters. Let's strip the ball. Let's get it into the end zone. Remember against Baltimore, Takeo Spikes picks off an Elvis Gerback pass, takes it for a touchdown. So these guys are capable of scoring, and they've got to be thinking that they need to put the points on the board if the offense isn't going to do it.
Bettis is back in behind the bus driver, John Whitman, the fullback. Fumble on the snap. Cordell picks it up. Got some room. And into Cincinnati territory. Corey Hall made the stop.
Well, that's making something out of nothing. Fumble snap, it's on the ground. They lost one. It cost them a possible score at the end of the first half. And here the same thing happens, but he takes off and he finds a crease. And once again, you've got one of the things that makes Cordell dangerous to defense is his mobility. And that's built into the offense now to use that mobility more this year, but this is purely accidental.
Pickup of 23. 1st and 10 from the 45. Bettis. To the 26.
But you wonder why Jerome Bettis has got 10,000 yards, because he's got offensive linemen like Jeff Harding, the center, who block for him like this. Look at Harding pull and lead this. A center pulling. Dermontti Dawson used to do this all the time. He keeps his shoulder square to the line. He goes straight up the field, and he hits middle linebacker Brian Simmons, and that's what springs Jerome Bettis. And so Bettis gets the publicity, and he gets the game ball. But for goodness sake, he's got good blockers.
142 yards for Bettis. From the 25, first down, right side. Justin Smith made the stop.
And that's another thing about Bettis. We talked earlier, Bill, about how he always gets tackled. When he's tackled, he falls forward all the time. The guy he ran into on that play, Justin Smith, is a rookie, but he benches 550 pounds. 550 pounds. And he couldn't make Jerome Bettis fall backwards. He got bowled over. That's tremendous power by the big man at tailback.
258 yards rushing total for the Steelers. They came in leading the AFC, averaging 145 yards a game. Second down, Cordell. gets out of trouble. And back to the line of scrimmage. Got away from Corey Hall, who was coming on the safety blitz.
Yeah, and they pre-aligned him again. They get him up into his gap. Corey Hall's already there. He doesn't come from distance. So the offensive blocking scheme doesn't have time really to slide to him and to get to him. And that's what gets him past that first line of protection so quickly.
3rd and 7 from the 24. The Cincinnati defense being asked to step up again. Matamafala and Zerway in the backfield. Wardell, here comes Cincinnati in the blitz. They pick it up, but underthrown and behind, intended for Plexico Burris.
Well, they pre-aligned another blitz. Both linebackers into the gaps in the middle. Brian Simmons to Keo Spikes. Watch the 2 linebackers come up inside. There they go. Cordell's looking at that, and he has good protection. He can take the time to set up and throw that ball well. I put that one on Cordell.
So Chris Brown, who tied his career long with a 52-yarder last week, is on to try this one from 42 yards out. Plenty of leg and good. So the Steelers able to extend their lead with 8:55 remaining. It's 13-0 Pittsburgh.
With a magic 3rd-row seat and a quadruple 5-star safety rating. It's one of the joys of parenthood.
Do you think we have everything?
Yeah, we'll only be gone an hour.
The Odyssey from Honda.
Look, I know Circuit City's doing this expo thing, but we're busy. Get what you need, we're out of here. Agreed?
Yes.
We know how you feel. It's Expo 2001. 30 days of non-stop demonstrations of what's hot and what's next in electronics. September 30th through October 31st. Circuit City, we're with you.
It's Applebee's Fiesta Del Grill. Lose yourself in our one and only lime marinated chicken. Or for a limited time, the sizzling Southwest steak skillet. Only at Applebee's.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. Meet the new castaways of Survivor Africa. Ethan, the professional soccer player.
I'm interested in wooing the girls.
Lindsay, the advertising account executive.
You can't trust anyone, and that's scary.
Lex, the marketing manager.
I am extremely tenacious in that I want this thing bad enough.
Survivor Africa premieres CBS Thursday at 8, 7 Central.
8:55 remaining, 13-0 Pittsburgh. And for the latest news on the military strikes in Afghanistan, tune into 60 Minutes tonight on CBS.
That gives you a chill, doesn't it?
Well, during halftime, they played the president's speech on the big screen here at Heinz Field, and the entire stadium got very quiet. Everyone hanging on every word. So the festivities of opening day dampened a bit by the story emerging in Afghanistan. Kick is taken by Keaton at the 2. Stopped short of the 20, pulled down from behind by Mike Logan.
Mike Logan, a terrific story. His grandfather worked at a steel mill at the site where the current Steelers practice facility is. Talking about keeping it in the family.
Well, Cincinnati with only 137 total yards on offense. The Steelers with 373. Flags everywhere.
Prior to the snap, False start offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Tony McGee.
Well, one of the things that the Steelers wanted to do here at Heinz Field was establish it as a hostile place for opponents to play, just like Three Rivers was. And part of that is they wanted to get the crowd into the game, and the crowd is doing their part. Fouling up the offense on the snap count.
Back it up 5. 1st and 15 now. Kitna on the out pattern. That's caught by Darnay Scott.
You know what, up until that play, you talked about having 137 yards total offense for Cincinnati. Darnay Scott, before that catch, had 50 of those 137 yards. And so I could see this becoming the Kitna and Darnay show.
5 receptions for 62 yards now for Darnay Scott. Last time the Bengals were shut out were in Pittsburgh a year ago.
And the Bengals are still mad about it.
2nd and 3. Complete to the rookie, Chad Johnson. And that's a Cincinnati first down at the 37. Dwayne Washington made the tackle.
Well, there they go once again, attacking about 12 yards down the field. They're trying to get it over where that swarming front 7 of Pittsburgh has been dominating the field of play.
Clock continuing to run inside of 8 minutes remaining. The Bengals need 2 touchdowns. Kitna completes it again. Peter Warwick. And he loses a couple after the catch. Brought down by Earl Holmes.
Earl Holmes, a linebacker, inside linebacker, makes a tackle on Peter Warwick. You don't see that too often. Usually you can't catch a guy like Peter Warwick if you're a linebacker.
Pickup of 6, 2nd and 4. From the 43. Again, Kitna will throw. Out pattern. Johnson and another Cincinnati first down.
And you know, I'm watching Darnay Scott, who was on the opposite side of the field from where that completion was just made. And he was starting a streak up the sideline, single covered by Dwayne Washington. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do in terms of looking for a home run after setting it up. Now, here's Chad Johnson. They just want to get the first down. He crosses the line. He makes the catch. Stutter steps his feet. Very nice. But they're setting up a long strike to Darnay. You watch.
Dick LeBeau loves Johnson's speed. Says he's going to be a real factor in this offense. Dillon on the draw. Down to the 42. Joey Porter, Earl Holmes combined to make the stop. He's spotted at the 43. Pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Darnay's up top now.
Kitna. Complete to Warwick. An acrobatic catch, and he's down to the 20. Chad Scott and Myron Bell made the stop after a nice pickup by Cincinnati.
You know, Kitna's doing a terrific job. The inside receiver here, Peter Warwick, he's hit several different receivers in several different parts of the field now, which he was not able to do through the first 3 quarters. But once again, I can't help but think that they're setting up Darnay Scott for a big shot. They're forcing Pittsburgh's defense to focus on other people.
1st and 10 after the gain of 22. Kitna out of the shotgun. And he had Warwick across the middle, but it was batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, and Warwick had about 7 yards between himself and the next defender, who was number 27, Brent Alexander. He had room to run if he was able to catch that ball. Take a look where Warwick in the middle of the field catches the ball. He's on the right of your screen. Look at all the space he'd have to run if that thing doesn't get knocked down. There's the nearest defender way down there.
Rodney Bailey, the rookie 6th-round draft pick out of Ohio State, got a piece of it. 2nd and 10, 5:39 remaining. And that's close to another Cincinnati first down. Again, it's Chad Johnson.
This is a breakout game for Chad Johnson. He's the rookie that made the acrobatic catches that caught so much attention in training camp and didn't really catch a lot of balls over the course of the first 3 games, but this one he's really become a primary target.
He didn't have a reception until they played San Diego last week. He caught his first NFL touchdown pass. An 8-yarder from Kitna against the Chargers. Rookie out of Oregon State, second-round draft pick. So first and goal from the 10. Incomplete. And that was intended for the tight end, Tony McGee.
And it's loud down there, Bill. This crowd is really getting into it now because they can see that if the Steelers can stop them here, if they can hold them to a field goal here, it'll be awfully difficult and more complicated for them to come back with only 5 minutes to go. And this crowd has really picked up where they left off at Three River Stadium.
Second and goal. Ball is right at the 10-yard line. 4:59 remaining. Kitna. Flag is down. Incomplete, but we'll check the penalty. It was intended for Darnay Scott. Dwayne Washington had the coverage.
Covered by Washington.
Need to hear from Larry Nemmers.
Illegal motion.
Legal shift. Offense. Number 83 moved up to the line when the man was in motion. Penalty is declined. Third down.
The only one person can be in motion at the same time.
I don't think there's any question this is 4-down territory with only 4:54 remaining. Cincinnati down by 2 touchdowns.
It is. The good thing about Cincinnati is that they have a lot of receivers that can make plays in this part of the field.
Kitna. The fade. Incomplete. Was trying to hit Danny Farmer in the corner of the end zone. There's a flag.
When Danny Farmer is on this team purely as a receiver, he's in his second year from UCLA, 6'4". That's why you throw the ball to him on the fade. But Danny Farmer's not a special teamer at all. Here he is. Watch him turn himself around. He's going to turn himself completely around, doing, and that's where the problem happens. Unfortunately for him, Chad Scott, number 30, is called for that interference, but I think he makes that catch even with the interference if he doesn't get spun around. But first and goal on the 1.
And the Steelers take a timeout. So 4:50 remaining. And the Bengals are threatening.
I can't let old Mr. Hetherington take you away, Red. You need to be free again. Go on now. Get out of here. Please. You have to go.
With a leather interior and the available Honda DVD entertainment system,
I'll never forget you.
it's one of the joys of parenthood.
Sorry, guys. How was dance class?
The Odyssey from Honda.
Johnson, I'd like to see some ideas on saving the company money. I'll be back first thing in the morning.
Think. That's the dumbest thing. Help.
Well, Johnson, Staples. That'll save us a lot of money. You are a genius.
Get extra savings for your business all this month at Staples.
Used to be, Subway's Jared had a few friends. Turns out, he's got an extended family.
Feeling fine and having a great time. We're a Subway family now. Thanks to the Subways in our towns, thanks to the man who showed us how. We love Jared and Subway's taste. Come and join us. It's not too late.
Subway has 7 delicious sandwiches with just 6 grams of fat or less, including our new tasty honey mustard turkey with cucumber, with just 4 grams of fat.
The only thing that's missing is you. Subway, eat fresh.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Fresh-made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh. And by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices.
10 plays on the drive so far. The Bengals have gone 80 yards during that stretch, getting a 6 of 9 for 68 yards. And now after the pass interference penalty, 1st and goal from the 1. Pittman, touchdown Bengals. Lorenzo Neal, the fullback.
This pass is complete to Lorenzo Neal. 1 yard of the Bengal touchdown.
Well, one of the best blocking fullbacks in the NFL, signed as a free agent from Tennessee.
Well, the fact that he's one of the best blocking fullbacks in the NFL makes this work. He goes like he's going to block, but then he slips the man at the last second, doesn't block him, gets open for the touchdown.
So Neil Racker's on to try the extra point to make it a 6-point ball game. And does. So the Bengals are on the board with 4:45 remaining. 13-7 Pittsburgh.
Get down in the dirt. Get down on the dunes. Get down on the trail. Get your monthly payments way down. As low as $69 a month and no down payment with a Honda card. Or get low 6.9% financing and no down payment on any new Honda ATV. Get down-to-earth deals now at your Honda dealer.
Well, the Bengals trying to make it interesting here in the late going. 81 yards on the drive. It took 11 plays. And a programming note, the Emmy Awards will not take place because of the events unfolding in Afghanistan. Please join CBS News coverage for more on the military strikes in Afghanistan. That's tonight on CBS. So 4:45 remaining. And finally, the Bengals are on the board. Lacker set to kick it off. Poteet and Edwards back deep for Pittsburgh. Now it will be up to the Cincinnati defense to give the offense another chance. Taken by Poteet. Out across the 30 and out of bounds at the 37.
Poteet on the return.
Juwan Armour made the stop for Cincinnati. Expect to see a lot of the bus right here for Pittsburgh. 4:33 remaining.
Tackled by Armour. 1st and 10, steal the ball at the 38.
Pittsburgh trying to go to 2-1. The Bengals came in at 2-1. Bettis is the deep back behind John Whitman, the fullback. They give it to Bettis. He rumbles across the 40.
Bettis on the carry.
Justin Smith, who's had a big game, made the stop.
Tackled by Justin
He
Smith.
did. He had Jerome Bettis in one hand. He had the tight end Mark Bruner in the other hand. And Bettis fell forward, but Justin Smith had both of those guys.
Gain of 2. Second
They
down.
call it a gain of 2. They spot it just past the 40. Bettis, 148 yards. Up the middle. A couple more for the bus.
Now that's good hustle. That time Justin Smith went up the field like it was a pass, came back and got in on the tail end of that tackle.
Smith, Takeo Spikes, and Rodney Heath all in on the tackle. 3rd and 5.
It's still strong. You're looking at Justin Smith, by the way, that 550-pound bench press for all y'all figure skaters out there. That's a lot.
Jerome Bettis going over 10,000 yards for his career today. 14th player in NFL history to accomplish that feat. Burdell will operate on the shotgun on 3rd and 5. Complete. Heinz Ward. Down to the 33 before it was stopped by Tom Carter.
Clutch play by Cordell Stewart. He was looking for Bobby Shaw down the left sideline. He gave him time to get open. Here's Bobby Shaw. Bobby Shaw's not going to get open. So he comes off on to number 86, Heinz Ward. And that's his second choice. So it's an accurate ball, and Ward catches it on stride, gets that first down. Great job by Stewart, reading the coverage, coming back to his second choice.
A gain of 24. Inside of 2.5 minutes remaining. Bettis powers down close to the 30.
Now we're in important territory here because they're getting near field goal range, and a field goal right now would mean that Cincinnati would need 2 scores, not 1. So this is a big deal, these next 5 yards.
Well, the Bengals take a timeout with 2:17 remaining to talk it over. In this date in history, a fellow named Walter Payton, playing against the New Orleans Saints at Soldier Field, broke Jim Brown's all-time NFL rushing record of 12,312 yards. Sweetness, who Jerome Bettis told us was his inspiration. Tough, physical, running style. And Bettis someday hopes to be mentioned at least in the same paragraph as the legendary Walter Payton. He does it a different way. Doesn't get the big gains, but he's been so consistent over his career. 2nd and 9. Bettis. Manages a couple. Chris Carter, the free safety, made the tackle.
Well, he ran out of the grasp of big Oliver Gibson, his former teammate here with the Steelers now. A very disruptive defensive tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals. He had both arms around him, and Bettis just kept on. Now look at the size of those arms. Those are, wow, that's big. And Bettis ran out of those arms.
Coming up on the Subway post-game show, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores, highlights, the latest NFL news. That's coming up in the Subway post-game show. The Steelers with over 400 yards now on offense. Amos Zerway gets the pitch, and he'll have another Pittsburgh first down, perhaps more. A flag, though. Zerway inside the 5.
Amos Zerway, the ball carrier. Flag on the play.
Well, he had Troy Edwards and Marvell Smith. Edwards the receiver, Marvell Smith the big offensive tackle. About 13 yards down the field blocking for him. It looks like one of them will be called for holding. And
holding. Offense, number 82.
Oh, neither one. They got Bobby Shaw.
The foul. Repeat, 3rd down.
The Steelers slot receiver.
The big deal here, though, Bill, is once again field goal range. Be thinking field goal range as we look at Bobby Shaw. He's looking up at the diamond vision at the replay to see if he could see where they caught him holding. But this is a big deal because, once again, right now, 2 minutes, 3 seconds to go. Field goal is the big deal here. Cincinnati has got to keep more points for going up on the board for Pittsburgh.
3rd and 11 from the 34. Zerway standing alongside Cordell Stewart. Bruner in motion. Here come the Bengals on the blitz. They give it to Zerway. Zerway gets it down close to the 30. And that will bring up 4th down. We've reached the 2-minute warning in Pittsburgh. 13-7 Steelers.
You have one new message.
John, it's Bob. I tried tracking you down everywhere, so I'm leaving this on your cell phone. Look, about your merger meeting this morning, whatever you do, avoid the boardroom. I was talking to maintenance, and they just lacquered the table, and it needs 24 hours to dry. Man, I hope you get this.
With ordinary cell phones, you leave messages, but with Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio, you get right through. When they need to get it fast, count on Express Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Hey, want hugs?
United States Postal Service is everywhere, so you can be anywhere.
Hey, it's Dark Mountain Roast Coffee. Feel robust, full-body coffee. Always fresh. As good or better than any coffee house. And it costs less. Dark Mountain Roast Coffee, only at 7-Eleven. Get it while it's hot. It's always hot. Yeah. Oh, thank heaven.
Hey guys, when did you see the light?
On our last fishing trip. It just flashed over me. Stay at Motel 6. Hey, I'm no fool. Saved big bucks and slept like a baby.
Yeah, like a big old snoring baby.
Well, call us and see the light for yourself.
This is Dan Rather with the latest at this hour. The U.S. and Britain have staged the opening salvo in the long military campaign against Osama bin Laden, his al-Qaeda terror network, and their protectors, Afghanistan's Taliban rulers. Using cruise missiles, stealth, and conventional military aircraft, the first targets have included bin Laden and Taliban facilities all around Afghanistan, with a deliberate attempt to avoid civilians when possible, in what was obviously a pre-taped statement from somewhere when, nobody knows, Osama bin Laden denounced the United States and tried to spin the strike against him as an attack on all of Islam. In other developments, President Bush said, and I quote, "We are supported by the collective will of the world." British Prime Minister Tony Blair said, "The stability of the world is at stake." That's the latest news at this hour.
Chris Brown on to try a 48-yard field goal for Pittsburgh and extend the Steelers' lead to 9. Plenty of leg and good. The jaw from Bill Cowher juts out a little farther. Chris Brown had a 52-yarder last week against Buffalo, 7th-round draft pick in 1999. And now the Bengals need 2 scores.
And this would have been good from 60 yards. He just drilled that. And look how easy it looks. That's why kickers can drive a golf ball a lot faster than guys that bench 550 pounds, because they know how to use their hips. And Brown gets his hips into this. It looks effortless, but from 48 yards away, look how far it clears that crossbar.
Today's attendance, 62,335, is the most in Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think he wishes he would have kept that candy bar.
Dick LeBeau hoping, but he knew immediately. So getting his team ready. Brown wanted to get a little more distance on his kickoffs this year, so he changed his approach to the ball, speeding it up, and as a result has been kicking it deeper this season. Keaton takes it at the 6. Late flags.
Keaton on the return.
Keaton brings it out to about the 34. Deshae Townsend made the tackle.
Holding during the return, number 98. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That won't help the Bengals. Well, next Sunday, the NFL on CBS is back with doubleheader action. Baltimore, Green Bay, the Steelers in Kansas City, Battle of Ohio, Cleveland and Cincinnati. Then at 4:15, Miami against the Jets. Check your local listings, beginning with Jim, Jerry, Randy, Mike, Marcus Leslie, and Deion Sanders on the NFL Today. And for more, go to NFL.com, the official source for all of your NFL information. AOL, keyword, NFL.com. 1:46 remaining. The Bengals 1st and 10 from their own 15. Kidna up top. Almost picked off. And again, it was Deshae Townsend who had perfect position
on Peter Warren, who's not an easy guy to cover over the middle because he's so shifty. He's the inside receiver, number 26, Deshae Townsend. He gets on his inside hip, and when Warren commits himself and looks back for the ball, Deshae turns around as if he were running the route. He mirrors him.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Kidna straight back. That was intended for Tony McGee. who had broken open. Brent Alexander, the free safety, closed in a hurry, though.
Well, this ball sails because John Kitna, just as he releases it, gets a chin full of Joey Porter. And so he's leaning back in anticipation of taking that blow as he releases the ball. Take a look at 55. Joey Porter loops inside, and so Kitna's kind of leaning back as he releases it, and that makes it sail high.
1:34 left to play. 3rd and 10. Kitna. Incomplete. That was intended for Corey Dillon, and a pass that Dillon should have had.
Coverage by Earl Holmes.
Earl Holmes had the coverage. That will bring up 4th down, and the Bengals will punt.
Well, that's an interesting call, the punt from there. I guess they figure their defense has a better chance of scoring than their offense does against this Steeler team. I mean, the Steelers' defense has just been dominant.
That is a little bit of a surprise. Why wouldn't you just go for it? 1:29 remaining. Harris's punt.
4th and 10 is about probably less than 10% conversion rate, and so really, you know, you're dead no matter what you do. And I think by doing this, it's no worse than going for it at that point.
Fair catch made by Poteet. So with 1:20 to play, the Steelers will take over inside the 45. They spotted down at the 44. Jerome Bettis, the numbers for him today: 23 carries, 153 yards. Cordell Stewart, 8 carries for 62 yards, and Amos Zerway, 8 carries for 60 yards. Steelers content to run out the clock. Pittsburgh will go to 2-1. And the Bengals, after the 2-0 start, a couple wins at home, will go to 500 at 2-2. Cincinnati offense really didn't get going until late in the game. Nice drive in the 4th quarter. Pittsburgh was outstanding on both sides of the ball today. 414 total yards of offense, 200 more than Cincinnati. The Steelers' inaugural game at Heinz Field results in a victory.
Pittsburgh 16, Cincinnati 7.
It will end 16-7, Pittsburgh. Big day for Jerome Bettis. A day when he went over 10,000 yards for his career. 153 yards for Bettis. So victory for Pittsburgh, 16-7.